think we good. I think we good. I think we good. All right, y'all. Let's get the show started. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild, and I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping into episode 272, our Sunday night edition. And I appreciate y'all for y'all showing, tapping in, and showing y'all major love. If this is your first time tuning and tapping in. Again, this is Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. We talk about everything sports, entertainment, social commentary. I mean, we talk about it all. Things that are viral on social media. So again, I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. We actually doing a different setup tonight. Alternate setup. I normally do. I have my different backgrounds normally, but I decided to do something a little different in the studio tonight, and I think that would be fun. Just a little change of pace for tonight's episode. So again, I appreciate y'all for showing y'all major love. Again, we on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We just went over 14,000. So continue to like, subscribe, share, hit that all notification bell. It does help with the growth of the show. And again, I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. Major love to everybody. So again, shout out to y'all in the chat. I'm gonna be also using my computer as well too, because a lot of things going on that with free agency, NBA free agency, and it's gonna be a little easier for me to give y'all the information. Also, again, I want to thank this presenting sponsor of this podcast, which is Button Snaps. You get to find us some movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. Let's move this thing forward. And remember, y'all, do not be an agent of chaos. Do not be a stain. A stain is somebody that trying to stand out by being negative, have the ability to stand out by being positive. Lose that vigilance mindset. Lose that it can only be one mindset. The only op we recognize over here is opportunity. Hate has a location. It's just not here. And again, I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping and showing major love as usual. All right, y'all. With no further ado, first segment of the night, popular opinions. This segment is brought to you by OUV Records. So remember, y'all, make sure you go to Instagram at OUV Records and stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. The label model is create, document, and inspire. So again, make sure you go to OUV Records on Instagram and stay in tune. All right, y'all. First segment of the night, popular opinions. Remember, y'all, these are not my questions. These are the world's questions. So stick to the answers in the questions. All right, y'all. First one of the night. Favorite Jay-Z song on this list. Favorite Jay-Z song on this list. Number one, Where You From. Number two, Song Cry. Number three, Ain't No. Number four, La La La. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Favorite Jay-Z song on this list. Number one, Where I'm From. Number two, Song Cry. Number three, Ain't No. Number four, La La La. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. For me, all of these songs is great. These are all fire top tier songs to me, in my opinion. I'm a big Jay-Z fan, grew up a big Jay-Z fan. I am from Brooklyn, New York. But like, let's keep it real, Jay-Z has had a lot of fire records, right? Me personally, all of these have a different place in my heart as far as these songs. Where I'm from, for me, is my favorite Jay-Z song on this list. No, yes, no. Damn, that's a tough one. Where I'm from is my second. I'm gonna say my second, but it describes Brooklyn so well for me. You know what I mean? For me personally, it describes Brooklyn majorly well. Um, Ain't No. That's probably like the first song I've ever heard of Jay Z when I was, a lad. You know what I'm saying? I was a little man, and that's probably the first song I've heard of Jay Z. Foxy Brown was on the song, and that was just like such a big song in New York. like period. Like it was a fire song. It's still a fire song. It's a classic song. Um, La 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 is probably overall my favorite Jay Z song on this list. On this list is La 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 because I really had to think about it for a second. The bars he was spitting in La 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 was just next level in my opinion. It was like it was just a good time. And mind you, that was for Bad Boys 2, the Bad Boys 2 soundtrack, if I'm not mistaken. So for me, that is my favorite Jay Z song on this list is La 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 La. Mind you, ain't no still a classic. Um, Song Cry, still a classic. The Song Cry is fire. The video is even better. I don't say even better, but you know what I'm saying. It brings out the song even more. And where I'm from, I mean, if you know, you know. Like that's the video in itself was a two-part video. Yeah, like yo, where I'm from, that one is tough one. That's a tough one for me. So La 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 is a 1A. Where I'm from is a 1B. But I'm gonna go La 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 on this one. So again, my favorite song is La 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 on this list. In the chat, I'm seeing a mix in the chat. So I'm seeing Song Cry. I'm seeing Song Cry on the chat. I'm seeing Song Cry in the chat. So at 90,000 people voted on this. 90,000 people. Mind you, 44% went with Song Cry. They went with Song Cry. They went with Song Cry. That's crazy. They went with Song Cry. Shout out to y'all in the chat. Matter of fact, I didn't get a chance to shout the chat out. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Tremont, King P all day, one of our day ones, had his badge for over 2 years. Shout out to Hazel. We got Big Hazel in the building, in here doing the damn thing. Shout out to Hazel. Shout out to Culture in the building. Appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in, man. But in the chat, and I also seen, yeah, so everybody said Song Cry. Everybody went with Song Cry. The chat went with Song Cry. I went with La La La, and the rest of the world went with Song Cry at 43%. That song is fire. That song is fire, but I think the music video is what brought it out even more, in my opinion. So Jay Z got some hits, man. Like one thing I'm happy of what's going on with the 30-year anniversary for Jay Z. He's doing these pop ups. He got the big events popping off, and in the city coming up, and I think their appreciation, I think it's great when artists kind of go away for a second and let people say whatever that they want to say. And when they pop back out, you see their greatness again. And sometimes when people are not around, sometimes people forget. But when you was there, like you don't forget. Like like Michael Jackson, right? People forget how great Michael Jackson was, even though I did not like the new movie that came out. But the thing that I like the most about it is that it remind people how great Michael Jackson was. The music, the feeling, everything, right? Same thing with Jay Z in the sense where it's been 30 years since his first album release, and people are remembering why he was so great. Because you've heard people say all types of stuff, right? And the music in itself is always going to be the music in itself. So again, that is my favorite song, La 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 by Jay Z. It's my favorite song on this list. But again, Song Cry, 44% went with Song Cry. So again, shout out to the chat for showing major love in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all as always, man. All right, y'all, moving on to our next popular opinion question. A must-have card game at a family function on this list. Must-have card game at a family function on this list. Number one, Uno. Number two, Spades. Number three, Phase 10. Phase 10 is my game. I love Phase 10. Number four, Clue. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Must have card game at a family function on this list. Again, number one, Uno. Number two, Spades. Number three, Phase 10. Number four, Clue. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. For me, I know what everybody want me to say. I'm gonna say my favorite game first. My favorite game on this list is easily Phase 10. I love Phase 10. because it's either you have it or you don't, right? There's no, like it's the luck of the cards always, but you get where I'm going with this. It's either you have it or you don't. In phase 10, it makes it super easy. The rules are simple. There's no house rules. There's no, you know what I mean? Like the rules is the rules. It says it right on the card. And if you ain't get it, you don't get it, right? Now, a must have game, card game at a family function. It has to be Uno. It has to be Uno. Because like let's keep it real. You don't play spades with everybody. You don't play spades with everybody. You don't. Even though Uno, everybody has their own house rules. Nobody plays the game how it's supposed to be intended. I remember releasing videos and did in-depth analysis on Uno on how the game is supposed to be played. Everybody hit me like, nah, Ash, nope. We play it our way. This is how we play. Like, forget what they talking about. Like, we playing house rules. So, at the end of the day, people gonna do what they want to do when it comes to Uno. But same thing with spades, right? And I don't want to say same thing with spades. This is most people don't know how to really play spades for real. They think they do, but they really don't. So I'm gonna say Uno. I think Uno is a must-have. I think all eras can play Uno, so I'm gonna go Uno. Everybody, all eras don't know how to play spades, so that's why I say a must-have card game on this list. So I'm gonna go Uno, even though my favorite game is Face Tech. I'm gonna go Uno the chat. I'm seeing Uno in the chat. Shout out to the chat. I'm seeing Uno in the chat, and I'm seeing Face 10. So Face 10, y'all saying Face 10 in the chat and Uno in the chat. So again, I'm going Uno, and the chat is going Uno and Face 10 as well. 63,000 people voted on this, y'all. 63. 37% went with spades. 37%. 37% went with spades. Again, I'm not surprised. Like spades is spades. You know what I mean? But I just feel like everybody don't know how to play spades. Like I feel like because everybody has their own rules and Uno, everybody can feel included. Spades is for like experienced card gamers. Everybody's not experienced card gamers. People can play Uno, and there's people that play spades. You know what I'm saying? You can't go to the spades table unless you know what you're doing, because you like the rest of the cookout won't talk to you if you don't mess the spades game up. So but the rest of the world says spades. 37% went with spades. So I'm not mad at that. And again, 63,000 people did vote on this in particular. So I'm not mad at this, but that's why I went with my answers. All right, y'all. Shout out to y'all in the chat. Again, hit the likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers, and we're a little over 14,000. We just went over 14,000. Major accomplishment. I'm really excited about that. You know what I mean? So again, I appreciate y'all for showing major love. And I do drop videos daily. So continue to support the videos, engage, leave comments. I do engage back, especially if you're saying something, even if you agree to disagree, have a difference of opinion of mine. As long as it's logical, I always show love back in the chat. If it's if it's stupid, I'll probably delete it or just won't respond. But again, I appreciate y'all engagement and love in the chat. All right, y'all, moving on to our next popular opinion question. And remember, y'all, these are not my questions. These are the world's questions. So stick to the answers in the questions. All right, y'all. Must have in a partner. Must have in a partner. Number one, someone who's honest. Number two, someone who's faithful. Number three, someone who has values. Number four, someone that's loyal. Again, let me know which one which one is a must have in a partner or must have in a partner. One, someone that's honest. Two, someone that's faithful. Three, someone that has values. Four, someone that's extremely loyal. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. For me, shout out to my dog Ike Love in the building. One of my dudes, man. Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Major love. Shout out to Ike Love showing major love to the chat, man. Appreciate you as always. And remember, y'all hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. He said loyalty above all. He said loyalty above all laws. Yo, I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. He said loyalty above all. Uh, Shout out to who's that? Hazel. Shout out to Hazel. Got Hazel in the building. She going crazy in the chat. Love that. She says, I honestly feel like loyalty and faithfulness are the are the foundation, but shared values is what keep the bond alive through tough times. That's a fact. That's a fact. Shout out to Hazel, man. Shout out to Hazel in the building, man. Appreciate that. King P, he going with one. He's saying honest. Somebody that's honest for a fact. All of these are major and important. All of these. For me, a must have in all of this, I'm going to say values is a must have because for me, without the values, you don't get none of this. Because values is something that's in you as a person, right? So what's in you as a person will lead to being loyal, will lead to being faithful, lead into being honest. So value to me, you value what you value, I think is most important. You know, you value the fact that you don't want to do anything to hurt me or to hurt yourself or put us in danger. You know, so values, I'm going to say, is the biggest one for me personally. So I went with values in the chat. There was a mix of answers. In the chat, I saw values, I saw honest, I saw faithful. So I got a mix of, and I think everybody is going to the same denomination. Is just how you get there. So I think everybody is pretty much in the right place. It's just how everybody wants to get there. So for me, it's definitely values because if you value us, all these other things I think fall in line. Me personally, shout out again to Ike Love. He said loyalty above all, honesty. So we saw honesty in here. So honesty and loyalty was mainly in the chat. And again, for me, I'm going with values. 14,000 people voted on this. 38% went with, no, excuse me, 39% went with. They went with values. They went with, they went with values. And honestly, in relationships, is there really a wrong answer as long as you and your partner is living your best life? Is there a wrong answer for real? That's why it kills me when I see people with very productive relationships and somehow, some way, they take advice from people who don't have productive relationships, haven't been in a relationship, don't know what a relationship looks like in the last 5 years. And even when they have somebody, oh, I wouldn't do this. Yes, you would. I wouldn't put up with that. Yes, you would. Because it's all situational based on how much you like the person. When you really like somebody, you're gonna put up certain things that you want to put up with somebody else. So in a relationship, as long as y'all live your best life together, that's all that matters. So it kills me when people say otherwise, like that's not important. So all right, y'all, moving on to our next segment. Moving on to our barbershop talk. Barbershop talk. I was in the barbershop, and it got very interesting today in the barbershop. So barbershop talk for this episode is LeVar Ball reveals that his wife, after 30 years of marriage, wanting to do something different and go another way. He revealed this on a streamer's platform. I believe his name is Neon. If I'm not mistaken, I've seen him several times. Just streaming and things like that, and he brings on other celebrities on his stream, and he gets into he asks questions or whatever, and LeVar Ball revealed the fact that his wife after their 30 years being together, she opted basically to, he didn't necessarily say the word divorce, but he basically said, she chose to do something different. Um, Based on the statement that I've heard. If he said divorce in a later statement, I did not hear that. But based on what I heard, based on that clip alone, that's what I heard him say is that she chose to do something different. That was violence in the barbershop today. I told y'all where I get my hair cut from, big barbershop. So you have the barbershop on one side and the salon on the other side of the shop. The ladies be here hustling into the conversation, and it was violence today. Um, I find it quite interesting though that he used LeVar Ball used the word "you choose to do something different," and there's a couple of things that I noticed in the statement that he made. For one, what he said, the type of wording that he used, how he spoke, it revealed several things. One, first and foremost to me, is that he sounded like he didn't want this. He sounded like he didn't want this at all. He sounded like a man that's hurt. And he sounds like a man that is just dealing with what he has to deal with. He's not dealing with what he could deal with. He's dealing with what he has to deal with. This is what she choose to do. I don't want this. I respect it because I respect her. But this is not what I want. But it is what it is. I have to move forward. She has to move forward. Period. That's what it sounds like to me. Secondly, the wording that he used, he deliberately tried not to throw her under the bus. I don't even think he did throw her under the bus, to be honest with you. I believe that he revealed his status because that's what it is. She don't want to look stupid. He don't want to look stupid. She doesn't want to look unfaithful. He don't want to look unfaithful. So God forbid if he has a new situation or she has a new situation, nobody could come out and say, "Oh, this and this is somebody. This and this person is cheating, and this and that person is not being right or moving correctly and how they supposed to move." So I think that's a part of one of the reasons why he revealed it. Another layer to it is their sons, is their children. Mind you, they grown men. They grown men now, but it has to be you have to be taken back that mom will leave dad. That's mom and that's dad. You have to be taken back like, what are y'all doing? As a son, you have to be taken back by that. And that's coming from a son that my parents was married as well. My parents was married for a long time, and mind you, they was together even longer than they was married. I think my parents was married for what, like 12 years. They was together longer than that. So me personally, when they got divorced, like I didn't celebrate it, but I wasn't sad about it neither. I mean, I get a chance to get away with some things. You know what I'm saying? That's just me personally. My older brother cared about that more than I did. But he hit it better than me. Me personally, it was like, yeah, it's cool though. Y'all gonna be cool. Just as a selfish kid, right? But the point that I'm making is that as a adult son, you still have to be taken back by it, by your father being alone from mom and mom, getting away from dad after they've been together for 30 years. Now, some women online, they going in saying that women just don't leave after 30 years. They just don't leave. Listen, like that. Let's stop the cap, right? This is not a man versus woman thing, right? This is very situational. She chose to do this because she chose to do it. We don't know her reasoning. She didn't come out. She has enough respect for him to not make whatever going on in their household so public where she's nitpicking. Because I'm pretty sure in 30 years, they both have seen the good, the great, and the ugly in both. It's 30 years of marriage. And one thing I can say about LeVar Ball, ever since we known him, he's always spoke to his wife and treated his wife in with the utmost respect, held her in the highest of regards. I've never heard him disrespect her or use disrespecting tone with her. He's always shown her the utmost respect and love, in my opinion, looking at this situation from the outside. And we're all looking at it from the outside. Ain't nobody out here talking. They got inside information. Ain't nobody. Nobody. But my thing is this: when you with somebody for 30 years, to up and leave, that has to be a personal journey. Like, why do we do this where everything has to be on somebody else? You don't your happiness is not rely on the person that you're with. Your happiness is all within you. There could have been a situation where she was unhappy with herself and wanted to get away from him to find her again in hopes to bring them back closer. Or maybe it's just her personal journey. Maybe it's just that. So who knows? But people, the fellas, of course, spoke out on the fact that he basically nursed her back to health. She was fighting through cancer, which he did. Through the help of their family, her parents, him, their sons. They nursed mom right back up. Mind you, not too far after that, Lavonzo Ball. I hope I'm saying his name right. Alonzo Ball have gone through his own struggles with in medical procedures. One of his legs was amputated, and it just seems like a very testing time for him for her to leave at this particular time. So there shouldn't be any for real. And this was my take about this in the barbershop. There really shouldn't be no negative aspersions on both. Reason being, for her, right? For her, if she chose to make that decision as men and as a man, we can say, honey, baby, we've been together for 30 years. I don't agree, and this is not going to help whatever that we're going through. But if this is a personal journey, I'm not going to fight you. I love you enough to let you figure it out, even if you don't want my help regarding this. Now, if we don't say that, oh, it's toxic, it's so, oh my God, the, the men is the worst and they handle everything and da 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 da. No, 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 no. As men, let's keep it real. We set the template. Men who are men. I don't like to say alpha or manly men, but men who are men. We set the template in the house. We set the template in our relationship. Regardless, he's always gonna love her, and she's always gonna love him. They got 3 kids together, who are grown men, all are successful in their own way. They won. They won. They won that life. They won that life. Your children are successful. You're successful. You won. And sometimes when you're navigating through life, sometimes people fall in and out of love. But this should let all men know something, right? When you're in your relationships, you have to move carefully. Shout out to my dog Biggs in the building, aka Messiah. My dude, appreciate you for tapping in. You already know, hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. But again, move cautiously. Because at the end of the day, no matter what you build with somebody, they can easily up and say, "Hey, I'm not happy," and there's nothing you can do about it either. There's nothing you can do that make me happy because happiness comes from within. So when I hear the women speak, "Oh no, he did this and he did that," he probably didn't do nothing. He was probably being himself, like how she was herself, and it was good for 30 years, or it was good for a period of time. You like I hate when people try to throw these things out. She already gave this man the ultimate form of submission. The ultimate form. Anytime a man cracked that ass, you done gave him the ultimate form of submission. You gave him access to your mind when you, excuse me, to your body. When you give anybody access to your body, especially us as men, because we're penetrating you. When you give us access of your body, now you give us access to your mind and your spirit, because we're entering you. Now, on top of me shooting life in you, and you're bearing our child and children, that's the ultimate form of submission. You're already on the program. So I hate when women say, "Oh no, he must have did something, or he talked this way, or he did it this way." It don't matter. They've been smelling each other's farts for the last 30 years. They done been through some serious things. They done been through some good times. Like they done had a lifetime together. Now, do he like it? No. Does she feel like she need to do this? Yes. Is it fair? No, especially if that's not what he wants. And when I heard him speak or hear him that clip, it don't sound like he wanted this at all. So I have to make, like we have to have the proper perspective when it comes to this. Fellas, be very wary, man. Be that, and this go like most men don't typically wake up after 30 years and say, "Yo, you know what? I'm gonna be out." Most men typically just have other girlfriends. And I know I'm laughing, but like most men normally have a girlfriend on the side. He's still gonna be with you. He's still gonna be loyal. He's still gonna come home, but he, dibbling and dabbling. But this could easily not be about that. This could easily be about just her. Her, even though she has been nursed back to good health. This is her selfish moment. This is her stuff, and we're all allowed to have selfish moments in our life, especially when we took care of other people. So that's this could be very much that in itself. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to my dog Rowan Jack in the building. Appreciate you as always, my guy in the building, man. One of our day ones. Big Bad Troll just had his badge for over 2 years, man. Appreciate y'all again. Hit them likes, y'all. Hit them likes. Hit the 100s. Hit them likes. Hit the 100s. Hit them hearts. It helps with the growth of the show. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers, and we just went over 14,000. I'm really excited about that. We're on 14,000 subscribers, man. And don't forget to take advantage of the memberships in that's available right now. I'm also adding to music content to those memberships as well. Y'all gonna have early access to my new album that I'm recording, and you get to see the process. So again, take advantage of those memberships, y'all. Shout out to my dog Roman Jack. He said, "Where are you?" I'm in another part of my spot, man. I'm in another part. I'm actually in my studio. I'm in my studio right now, man. So I chose to do the pod in here tonight. I just wanted a different background for tonight, just a little different energy. And I'm recording my new album too, and I kind of didn't feel like moving the other stuff to the other, the usual spot, So you know what I'm saying. But yeah, still something different. But yeah, so that was the barbershop talk for this episode again regarding LeVar Ball. So shout out to them. Hopefully they figure it out. And sometimes you gotta figure it out apart. We've all been there. Um, yeah. So all right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment, our must see. Excuse me, our must see segment. I give out 3 Eddie Murphy awards to 3 fire movies that y'all must see. Um, the reason why I call it Eddie Murphy awards is because Eddie Murphy is the most important actor that we've had in this generation. Period. I'm not arguing with anybody regarding that. He's the most important actor we've had in the last 50 years. Period. Period. So that's why I call it the Eddie Murphy Awards. So my first must see movie, my first Eddie Murphy award goes to a movie that came out in 1996. directed by Eric LaSalle, starred and directed by Eric LaSalle. This movie also stars Don Cheadle, James Earl Jones, Forrest Whitaker, Colin Cheadle. Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Don Cheadle has a younger brother, Colin Cheadle, Michael Beach, Loretta Devine, Monica Calhoun, Glenn Sherman, Clarence Williams III, Michael Ralph, and Chess Williams. This movie is called Cress. I said it right. Chess Williams. Cress Williams. Excuse me. This movie is called Rebound. Earl Manigault. The Earl Manigault story. If y'all don't know who that is, he's basically, a street baller, street legend. Dude could jump out the gym, jump at the top of the backboard. He was super duper nice in his time. And the movie is not basically, the movie is about him and his uprise to street basketball. And he actually played to watch the rest of the movie. I won't spoil it for y'all, so make sure y'all tune in to see the movie Rebound. Second Eddie Murphy Award goes to a movie that came out in 1993, directed by Philip Kaufman. This movie stars Wesley Snipes, Sean Connery, Michael Chapman, Kerry Harshakudo, Tagawa, and Harvey Keitel. This movie is called Rising Sun. Fire must see movie. This movie is about a police officer or a cop. He gets called to the case, and you have to see the rest of the movie. I won't spoil it for y'all, so make sure y'all tap in to see Rising Sun. Third and final Eddie Murphy Award movie came out in 2007, directed by David Fincher. This movie stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Mark Ruffalo, Robert Downey Jr., Chloe Sevigny, and Anthony Edwards. This movie is called Zodiac. Fire must see movie again about the Zodiac killer. They went very in depth in this movie. Fire movie I gotta tap into. If y'all don't know about the Zodiac killer, he was never caught, and the Zodiac killer was getting busy back in the day, unaliving a lot of people. Again, I won't spoil it for y'all, so but make sure y'all tap in to see the movie Zodiac. So again, my three Eddie Murphy Award movies that y'all must see is the movie Rebound that came out in 1996, um, The Rising Sun, which came out in 1993. Again, Wesley Snipes, Sean Connery, and number three, Zodiac, again by Jake Gyllenhaal. So make sure y'all tap in to see Zodiac. Fire must see movie. Might have asked. Shout out to the chat. Y'all going in the chat. Shout out to the chat. You can truly. Hold on, no, I got that one. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Rashida. Got Rashida in the building. Appreciate you for tapping and hit them likes. Hit the 100s. That helps with the growth of the show. Again, if this is your first time tuning and tapping in, I'm Ashley Lovechild. This is the Ken and Brothers Get a Rap podcast. And I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping and hit them hearts. Hit the 100s. Hit them hearts. It definitely helps with the growth of the show. Uh, Hazel the Park scenes and the double dunk are legendary. Incredible direction debut from Eric LaSalle. Yes, that was his debut. And for those who don't know who Eric LaSalle is, just by name, if you ever seen the movie Coming to America, he played the boyfriend. He played Daryl, with the soul glow. You know what I'm saying? Like, God let you get your soul glow. The soul glow prince. That's Eric LaSalle, for those who don't know who Eric LaSalle is. Also, that was in that movie was James Earl Jones. And he's in this movie as well, too. So James Earl Jones and Don Cheadle in the same movie. What a cast! Such a powerful story about overcoming adversity. Facts. Shout out to Roman Jack. Might need to move the mic a little closer, buddy. Can y'all hear me? Y'all can't hear me? Can y'all hear me? What about now? Can y'all hear me now? Let me know now. Can y'all hear me now? Better. He said better. Okay. Okay. Cool. 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 Whoa. Whoa. Yes, that's better. Yes, okay, okay. Maybe I was talking too chillaxy. Maybe I was doing one of those. Maybe I had on my old school Jones on the phone voice because I used to Jones on the phone as a teenager, just jonesing. You know what I mean? Just hey, what you gonna wear tomorrow, girl? You know what I'm saying? That was a whole good time back in the '90s. You know what I'm saying? This was before MySpace, and you know what I'm saying. This was like Black Planet days when you actually got the girl phone number. You know what I mean? You on the phone, and I'm jonesing. You know what I mean? And then I kept the radio near the phone call because I used to be kind of slick with it and be like, yo, this song right here, I've been thinking about you. This song right here, you feel me? You know what I mean? I'll play the little song over the phone as I'm jonesing, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing but that butter love, you know what I mean? Give me that butter love, boo. You know what I'm saying? On the phone all night. Butter love. So maybe I'll sing y'all with the butter love voice. You know what I'm saying? Yo, shout out to y'all. Yo, y'all are funny in the chat. No, but I'm serious though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna say I got tears coming from my eyes because like this is true. Like I'm on the phone, I'm jonesing. You know what I'm saying? And I play Butter Love. You know what I'm saying? By Next. Next was one of my favorite groups back in the day. And I was like, yo, girl, you got that Butter Love, and I played the song on the phone or whatever. And as I'm about to like, you know what I mean? My mother come right on the phone and be like, it's 11:30. It's time for you and your company to get off the phone. You done killed my whole session right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done did the work. Like, what we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, now I don't feel like big balls hog. You know what I'm saying? At 13, 14. You know what I mean? Hey, you know what I mean? That's a whole nother era. Yeah, some of y'all don't understand. Remember that era. Some of y'all do though. I know some of y'all in the chat remember that era. You know what I mean? But that era was top tier. That was on a whole nother type of time. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ruin 12 in the building. My dog Ruin 12, man. New studio, yo. Now I'm just in my studio. This is where I actually record my music. Actually in my studio. This is my studio. I have a studio in my home and I don't have to go to nobody else's studio. I go right in here. As you can see, it's soundproof and all that other stuff. I go right in here and get crazy. So yeah, I just wanted a different atmosphere. I was recording and I didn't want to move stuff into my normal space while I do the pod. You know? New studio, damn, okay, boy. Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Don't do that. We IRS always watching. You know what I'm saying? From like all this right here, yeah, like I got all this off the street. You know what I'm saying? Like all this. You know what I'm saying? This is Florida. People do away stuff all the time. You know what I mean? So baller, no. 2K. 2K. I play 2K. I play 2K. You know what I'm saying? We don't talk about money over here. You feel me? He said it's also his casting couch. Yo, chill. Yo, chill. Chill, 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 chill. You know what I'm saying? You know what's funny? I don't even want to get to. All right, I'm gonna get into this one story real quick. All right, there was one particular girl, and I was looking for talent. She volunteered herself on the casting couch one time. And I literally say, yo, nah, I'm cool. I appreciate the buns nuns. I appreciate your enthusiasm. You know what I'm saying? But I'm cool. I don't do business like that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of my friends used to be like, yo, you didn't want to do that? Well, huh? I'm like, yo, bro, I don't mix business with pleasure. You know what I'm saying? That's just we about here on the money. We trying to get to the money. We ain't trying to cast couch. I don't do that over here. Nah. There's not one. I'm proud to say there's not one artist that could say they went through the casting couch to be anything I'm associated with, whether it's music, whether it's acting, because I have my own show. If y'all never seen What Strangers Do, it's like 6 episodes on YouTube and on Button Snaps. And that was my own production and stuff like that. Ain't nobody ever got to the couch. Now it was a couple girls that was like looking for the camera, so I'm just doing a video. Well, yes, it's a music video. It's about this song. I was super professional, and they was like, "You sure that's all I gotta do, ma'am? Ma'am, I don't know what you got going on in your life. You know what I'm saying? Before you met me, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what you got going on in your life. You came here on a professional vibe. This is professional. You know what I mean? I don't know how you living or if you living right or not. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. You feel me? We're here to have business. You know what I'm saying? So all you if you was expecting to get that ass cracked, not gonna be here. No, no. Mm-mm. We just don't do the casting couch. Uh Wow, that's cool. Your own studio. Yeah, man, I'm saying it's easy to have your own studio when you find parts on the street. You know what I'm saying? You just find the parts on the street. You know what I mean? You find the parts on the street, donations. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, we don't talk about money over it. The IRS watching, dog. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I woke up one day and it was there. You know what I'm saying? Uh, he said, damn, casting couch. How Yo, it'd be funny on the pornos though, when the dude was being there with the casting couch. He was like, "Yo, I want to move you up the head of the game, but what you willing to do for me?" And she like, "What you want?" He was like, "Yo, this getting crazy out here." Uh, Roy Jack, I want to see Ash go. If you know, Diddy Lovechild. Nah, yo, the Diddy oils in the other room. The Diddy oils. See, that lets you know it don't be that type of party in here. If the Diddy oil was in the studio, then you be like, yo, Ash in there on something. You know what I mean? He on something. But I keep the Diddy oil in the podcast room. You know what I mean? So y'all know I'm on here on business. You know what I'm saying? Y'all feel me? Shout out to y'all to chat. Y'all crack it up, man. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. If this your first time tuning in, tapping in. Again, I'm Ashley Lovechild, Ken and Brothers Get It Right podcast. I drop videos daily. So continue to engage. I do engage back in the chat. If you do say something that I don't agree with, I still engage, especially if it's logical. But if you're there to troll, I more likely will erase it or delete it, or I just might leave it alone. But again, I appreciate all your support, especially when it's genuine. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment, our must hear segment. Y'all know how I do it here. I'm gonna give y'all some fire music to tap into, whether it's new or old, hip hop, R&B, or reggae. I'm gonna give y'all some fire music. So I also, AKA, call this the Michael Jackson Award. Mike, come on, you know why I call it the Michael Jackson Awards, right? So this artist have 3 songs that y'all must tap into. Shout out to the chat. Yo, Ash, seriously, thought I don't know how to do recording. Casting couch can be there up close with the camera. Yo, them casting couch videos is wild though, because them joints be wild. You know what I'm saying? But that's all a part of the fantasy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I will tell y'all this, right? Years ago, years ago, right? I was asked to perform at the AVN Award. If y'all don't know what the AVN Award, that's basically the Humpers Awards, right? I was asked to perform there. I'm thinking I was gonna do the big show, on the Vegas stage and Nah, they asked me to perform at the hotel because they had performances in the hotel rooms. So when I got there, I'm kind of like, I don't know why you gonna be here on some bull. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a small dude. I'm 5'11". I got little muscles on me. So I know ain't nobody gonna be in here on them a whole other time. So, like, y'all will hear about me in the news for infamy for suplex and porn stars because they was on some bull, right? Get up in there. It was super, super classy. It was respectable. It was actually professional. I performed my couple songs and it was cool, right? And again, they have in-room performances and stuff like that, but then they also have like the big stage. So I was asked to do the performance whatever, whatever, right? So I went in there, did my thing, right? So now, I'm at the party at the AVN joint, right? The after party, right? Not the get it popping party. I'm at the party where people are dressed up. It's at a club inside Vegas because what people don't, a lot of people, if you've never been to Vegas, they have a lot of clubs inside of Vegas, like, excuse me, inside of the hotels, right? So you have they could accommodate you for performances in rooms and in the actual clubs in the hotels. So now I'm at the premier party at the hotel. So I'm in there, you know what I mean? So one particular person, she was a star. I'm like, oh, put my name to the test, you know what I'm saying? And she had the nerve to tell me, you're an artist. I'm more worried about you as an artist. And I'm like, but you a star. You worry about me. I should be worried about you. So her caveat was, I only do solos. So what that got like, that still don't make sense. You in the business, you in the flesh business, and you more worried about me as an artist. You like, I know you got girls all over. Like, I got girls all over the place. What about you? What about you? I was taken back by that. I was kind of like offended. That was the story. You know what I mean? That was the story. Rowan Jack, stupid. He said heart of gold. I'm serious though. Like, I mean, because you do solo. So, I don't mean you're not around dudes and I mean, worried about me and my body count. You in the flesh business. You know what I'm saying? Just crazy. He said, "Ew, brother." Ew. He said, "Ew, brother." Ew. He said, "Ew, brother." Ew. Yo, y'all are funny, man. I'm serious though. All right, so my must-hear artist, my first Michael Jackson award goes to shout out to the artist, profile artist Tanya Blunt. If y'all don't know who Tanya Blunt is, she was one of the singers on damn, what's the movie? What's the movie with Whoopi Goldberg again? And she was a nun. And what's that movie called? Y'all know the movie, y'all. I just had it in my head. I go blank because I'm on live. But in that movie, there's a part two with Lauren Hill, and she's sitting at the piano with Lauren Hill, and they both singing, and they going crazy at the piano. That's Tanya Blunt. Sister Act. Yeah, see, shout out to the chat. Be looking out for your boy. Says on Sister Act 2, Tanya Blunt is the other artist that was sitting with Lauren Hill at the keyboard, and she was going, and she was doing her this thing. But she has an album, great music, and my three Michael Jackson awards goes to her song. So my first Michael Jackson award goes to her song, Love. Excuse me, Is It Love? Fire song. Y'all gotta tap into that song. Second, Michael Jackson award goes to her song called Love Ballad. She redid the song Love Ballad, and she did an amazing job with that one. And third, Michael Jackson award goes to her song Baby Love. So make sure y'all put that on your playlist. Again, Tanya Blunt, R&B, fire music, fire songs. Again, first Michael Jackson award goes to her song Is It Love? Second, Love Ballad. Third, Baby Love. Make sure y'all put those songs on your playlist. It's actually super duper fire. Make sure y'all tap into Tanya Blunt. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Hey, man, we're about to get on that flight, and you already know what we're about to do. Send the turkey or no. Send them the turkey or no. Y'all know the rules of the game. We type in T to send it to turkey, or we type in N not to send it to turkey. If this your first time tuning in, tapping in, when somebody do say something crazy, we either send them to turkey. It's an inside joke on the show. People do crazy stuff. We send them to turkey. Turkey got wild laws, and they will put you under the jail if you get out of pocket. So that's why we send people to turkey. All right, y'all. First one of the night. Send them to turkey or non. The NCAA has approved an age-based 5-year eligibility rule for for the players, right? So the eligibility clock begins upon the initial full-time college enrollment or the beginning of the academic year of the following athlete's 19th birthday, whichever comes first. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Is it good for college sports and college football all in itself, or is it bad? Or we going to send this to Turkey and we want to keep it the old way? And let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Type in T, type it in to send it to Turkey. Appreciate y'all as always, man. Uh, so let me explain a little bit even further for y'all, for those who are not familiar. So this is supposed to basically eliminate red shirt and waivers. Traditionally, for college football, a kid that goes from high school to college, he could do something called the red shirt. And what that mean is that he could take a year practicing, going to the home games, but not playing in the actual games. And what that allows that player to do is to get bigger, stronger, and faster for the next year, and he can still maintain being a freshman. So his next year, instead of being a sophomore, he will be considered a redshirt freshman. But academically, he will still be a sophomore. It's just he will have 4 years to actually play football. So they're eliminating that, right? So the 5 years is basically saying you could play 5 years of college football, period. You get 5 years to play 5 years. That's how it's gonna go from here on out. At least for now, because it seemed like they changed the rules at their whim when they want to change it at their whim. Um, so that's what the red shirt, why that red shirt was so important as well. Waivers is also important because let's say you get hurt and you only played in 3 games that year, right? So you only played 3 games. Like back in the day, that would they would consider that a whole year. Then they changed the rule where they say, yo, if you get hurt and you only played 3 games, 4 games, we're going to eliminate that year. We're basically allowing you to get healthy so that way you could play the next year because you lost a year and that's not fair, right? So they're eliminating that process altogether as well. So that's why red shirts and waivers was important prior to the ruling. Now, limited exceptions, additional seasons or clock extensions will now only be permitted for monetary for maternal leave, military service, or religious missions. So what that means, like certain schools like Utah, BYU, they have things called missions. Basically, their missions is going to other countries and going into these countries and doing mission work, doing goodwill work with the people and of the country that need. So people are allowed to go on these missions, come back like at 21, 22, 23, and they're, older, but they still sophomores or juniors, and they're allowed to play at the older age. So they're still going to allow that. They're still going to allow that because it's quote unquote out of religious beliefs or military beliefs. So if you go to military school like Army, Navy, Air Force, they can give you additional clock time. So let's say you have not gone to college and now you're 20, 21 years old and you're a freshman. They would give you basically an exception if you go to a military school. Now, for the women that, if you get pregnant and you're on maternity leave, then they will give you, extra time back for, having a child, so that's the limited exception. Simpler compliance. Excuse me. The update removes complicated sport-specific eligibility rules and streamlines to rule books for athletes, coaches, and staff. Current student athletes for players with eligibility remaining after 2025-2026 academic year, schools have the flexibility to apply either new age-based model or previous rules. So if you're in 2025, 2026 years, you can get a bit of both. Incoming Freshmen, athletes graduating from high school in 2026 later will exclusively fall under the new age-based model, regardless of what their plan, regardless of the initial enrolled, excuse me, regardless of their plan to initially enroll. So it doesn't matter, basically, after 2026. If you come in after 2026, you're under the new age base rules for college sports, whether it's football or any sport. So it doesn't matter. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Are we sending this to Turkey or no? Are we sending this to Turkey or no? Now that y'all have full context of it, um, me personally, because I'm from the old school and um, because I'm from the old, I would say old school, but I understand the old rulings, and that works better to me than the new ruling. 5 years to play five, it you're still not eliminating the age base. You're not really eliminating the age base portion of it, because one thing now, if you got players for 5 years, you're making it even more difficult for high school kids to join the team. If you got players for 5 years. Think about it, right? How many seniors do you have every year? How many juniors? How many? So each year, your freshman class is always your biggest class on your football team. It's always your biggest class because everybody don't make it to the senior year. So if you got players for 5 years, so you're basically saying, mind you, on the college football team, you're only allowed to have maybe like 110 guys and 80 on scholarship. So you have another 30 guys who are not on scholarship that that they have to pay their own way or whatever the case may be. That's not on scholarship. So how does that benefit the high school kids? It doesn't. If we're making it age based. Now the only reason why we're seeing 22, 23-year olds, 24-year olds, 25, 26, and in some cases 27 for this last season is because some of those guys was freshmen during COVID. And during the COVID years, they gave players added years because why? They didn't play. They didn't play that year. They was freshmen and everybody was home. So they gave people an extra year. Now, a part of giving people extra years, what happens every year? Coaches leave schools. So it's not fair that players have to be pigeonholed, but the coaches are not pigeonholed. So if a coach takes a team from 3 wins to 11 wins, he can leave the very next year. If you was recruited by this coach and you went to the school, it doesn't benefit you if the coach leaves. There's a good chance the coach doesn't even bring you. Now, let's say the coach wants you to come, but it's not in your family's best interest that you go to this school, or not the best interest for you academically. But coaches have all this leeway and the players don't. So this doesn't cure the need to get more high school players in college. I remember back in the day, at least when I was coming up in high school, a lot of the guys was always a year older because in eighth grade they got held back a year, so that way they could have an athletic age, playing in their high school year and college year and things of that nature, so people won't catch it, right? Um, this doesn't help that. This doesn't help that. They should have kept it the way it was, where you get 6 years to play four. The whole purpose is to play 4 years. If you redshirt to get bigger, stronger, and faster. That's a benefit because you don't want guys that's out there that's not physically able to play. If you happen to get hurt, you could throw away the whole year and still have 4 years of football under your belt. Me personally, I think the older way was more beneficial to the game and to high school athletes. It's just the difference before is that high school athletes wasn't being as recruited as hard, mainly because when you bring guys from other schools, they have the advantages because they've been doing the same type of lifting, the same type of running. So that's a better player. than a high school player. So this didn't curve any type of advantage. And the fact that they say in 5 years, so we're still going to get 22-year-olds in college football. We're still going to get 23, 24-year-olds, especially at these military schools and religious type of schools because they're going on mission. It's still the same thing. It doesn't make it better at all. You're still going to get guys who are 23, 24, 25 in sports. So I don't like the rule. Me personally, I think it pigeonholes everything. I think the 6 years to play four is more advantageous instead of 5 years to play five. That's just me personally. Because if you have less years to play, then they have to go. You can't stay the fifth year. You have to go, bro. And technically, when guys get COVID year, they did not play that year. Simple and plain. Now, there's other guys who've played JUCO, played prep. I'm one of the believers that JUCO years should not count. It should not count. If anything, maybe 1 year. Maybe 1 year. Maybe if you play 2 years of JUCO, that should count to only 1 year of eligibility. Me personally. Me personally. Because it's still not fair. It's still not fair. So shout out to the chat. Y'all going in on the chat. The age limit is long overdue move. So all right, so you're not sending that to Turkey. Shout out to Washida. Why men don't sponsor their own. Men should have their own. If he can't support his own potentials enough is enough. It's too many predators who are billionaires. Shout out to, we got fam in the building. Shout out to my dog fam. Happy fun day. Salute to everybody. We got my dog fam in the building, man. Hit them likes, hit them 100s, man. It helps with the growth of the show. Hit them hearts, hit them 100s in the chat, man. We got my dog fam in the building. We got Maria in the building. Shout out to Maria. Shout out to Maria in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. How are you doing? So I'm on the major league. Baseball All-Star Weekend. Can't wait. My album almost finished with Tony Braxton, Johnny Gift. Shout out to Maria, man. Appreciate you for tapping in. Washida send them all to Turkey. All of them sound like another bad boys club. Sound like them looking for some new to send all to Turkey. Send them all to Turkey. Men, raise your own. Men, raise your own. Shout out to Washida. Shout out to Washida. Appreciate that, Washida. Shout out to Washida, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. She loved and signed that. And she signed her name on that one. She not playing with that. Shout out to Washida. Yeah, I'm gonna have to send it to Turkey. It's not beneficial to the kids. It's not beneficial to the game. It like again, all of this stuff is to suit the the system. That's what it's all is to suit is the system. If you give players longer time to play because it's going to make a better product, then it suits the system. That's all it does. If they're talking about age, 4 years is enough time to play sports. Now, if you give a guy a year, like you giving him like basically a waiver because he got hurt, that is suitable because he got hurt. He so he did not play. He got hurt. If he took a year to get bigger and stronger in his red shirt, yeah, that's suitable because you don't want him out there getting broken up. High school weight rooms is not the same as college weight rooms. It's not. It's a whole nother beast. I played with guys that freshman year, they were sticks. Sophomore year, they looked like they ate their old self. One of my several of my friends grew into their body from freshman year and sophomore year. I have one particular friend who, like, I was bigger than. Pause. He was taller than me. He's 6'5", but he was a buck 80. Little guy. You know what I'm saying? We used to call him little guy. Mind you, I'm 5'11". But I was 225, and then next year I was 235. That was that college weight room, right? The very next year, he was 225 himself. And he was already 6'5", so that muscle was looking like super crazy. Like, damn, dude, like you look like a super soldier, right? So having that year to weight lift, get stronger, bigger, and faster, that matters too. So I don't like this because it doesn't curb the need of moving older players from college sports. And let's keep it real. Let's keep it a buck. Some of these players who are 23 and a very few that are 24, the older the player is, that'll make him even greater. Like there's several guys who play like their eighth year because of the COVID year, because they got a waiver for oh my God! It was one guy that played 8 years. He played 8 years, but he didn't play 8 years. COVID year, he got a waiver because he was hurt twice. He had like a severe injury, so they gave him two medical waivers. And then his coach left. So when your coach leave, they will give you another year if your coach leave, it because it just messes like it just leaves the program like at zero. So it's like, oh, all right, so yo, we just gonna give you another year, bro. It's cool. But the point that I'm making, he wasn't even good. He wasn't drafted. He wasn't that good. So I think it should be case by case, and the NCAA should just do their job. It should be case by case. Period. Point blank. You get 6 years to play four, and that's it. But the new 5 for 5, it is what it is, and they're putting it through. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next send them to turkey or no. Send them to turkey or no. We type in T to send it to turkey, or we type in N not to send it to turkey. A woman goes viral saying that married. Excuse me. A woman goes viral saying that some married women that has hold up, this is not worded correctly. A woman has gone viral for saying some women who are married has that one she loves more than her real husband. So that's the word that's missing. So a woman that goes viral for saying some women that are married has that one man that she loves more than her real husband. Again, a video that's gone viral says that a woman says that some married women, excuse me, some married women have a man that they love more than their real husband. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Are we sending that to Turkey or no? Are we sending that to Turkey or no? Shout out to the chat. Y'all going in the chat. Coaches are going to stop hitting the transfer portal so aggressively. Oh, you talking about for the other stuff? She talking about for the other stuff. Okay, talking about for the other stuff. Yeah, but let me know if y'all think about that in the chat. Oh, you sending this to Turkey? Type in T to send it to Turkey. Type it in not to send it to Turkey. This is exactly why people have no since they have 5 years. Use the players. They're going to focus heavily on retaining and developing. Right. So that one was for the last one. That one was for the last one. That one is for the last one. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Shout out to Fam. He says send her straight to Turkey with no return. Take her passport. That's funny. King P, he's saying no. He's saying not send her to Turkey. Shout out to y'all in the chat. Again, hit them likes, hit the 100s. Again, it helps with the growth of the show. Me personally, I can see both sides of this. I can see both sides of this, mainly because I've been in situations where you know, I have not had a secret where I've dealt with all types of women. When I deal with women, I don't ask what they got going on at home when I meet them. That's not my interest. So later on, it was revealed to me later that they had somebody at home. Like, you know what I'm saying? And gracefully, did I bow out gracefully when he told me that? Yeah, yeah. That I don't stick around for real when a woman has a husband. You know what I'm saying? Or even a dude. I don't really stick around like that. I'm not here to take you from him. No, stay home, stay with him. I'm just here for the good time, and I'm gonna stay here and you go home. You know what I'm saying? That's how I always looked at that, especially in my younger years. I'm, mainly speaking from my younger years. Now, would I date a woman that has a husband or who has a boyfriend? Would I even entertain the good time aspect of it? I would say no. Now, in my 20s, hey man, I did what I did. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I understand both of it. And the reason why I brought up my situation or the situations that I've been in is that the reason why I can understand it because some of the women that I dealt with who happened to be married, and they told me later, said that they, basically would rather, what we have going on, and anytime I'm around, I can have it my way like Burger King. I can call them and they'll get out the bed and come see me. You know what I'm saying? And I always used to think like, damn, if I'm him, like I know how I used to think back then in my 20s, I used to be like, damn, what is he not doing for her to get up out the bed and come see me? Now that I'm 40, I'm gonna be 42 July 18th. So my birthday is not too far from now. So now at my big age now, I'm not even putting that type of energy in the atmosphere, mainly because I know better. And another thing about it too, it's like if you would do that to a person that really loves you, he love you, at least he love you enough to marry you, to build with you, have children, whatever the kid, whatever y'all got going. This is what he did, and the disrespect on your part, like, because if you don't have respect for your relationship, how can you ask anybody else to? I asked one of my cousins, I said, hey, if you caught your lady in bed with another guy, what would you do? Oh, I'm beating him up. Why? Why? Whether he knew or not, that's on her. That's on her. And vice versa. If you're a dude and you catch your woman in the bed with another dude, like what like you don't beat her up. That's the point that that's one another point that I made. You don't beat her up, but you address her. She's supposed to respect you, not him. He saw what you saw physically. So, and even with women, women would get at the other woman instead of getting at your boyfriend or getting at your husband. Like, yo, what's going on? What's going on? So I've always thought like that, me personally. So I can see both sides of this, and because I've been told personally in my own situations by women who happen to be married that basically all have shown by their behavior, if I call them, they would come, regardless. Um, but it's just a messed up situation. I used to think that like, yo, what is he not doing? And to be quite honest with you, and as I gain more perspective, he could be doing everything. He could be a good dude, and this is just what she gonna do because she wanna do. So me personally, when I date somebody, I always have that in the back of my mind is that regardless of what I do, regardless of what I show, a person is going to do whatever they want to do, even if you're the best of the best. If you're the best woman out there for this man, if you the best man for your woman, no matter what you do, somebody can wake up on a random day, like, you know what? I'm gonna go do this. And it's not worth crashing out about, regardless of how much you invested emotionally, financially, it's not worth crashing out about it. We see it every day. One of my favorite shows that I watch all the time is Fatal Attraction. And the show starts off the same way every single time. She was a beautiful brunette that was making her way in the big city. And he was a tall drink of water and they was in love and it was insatiable. It was beautiful. And they had a relationship that couldn't be matched. But then all the while, we didn't know secretly that they was beefing in the background, and somebody ended up unalive, right? Purpose of that is that people are going to do what they want to do. People want when they want it, especially when you're an adult. Whether it's toxic, whether it's positive, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, people are going to do what they want to do, and it's an advantage to you as the person that's being cheated on or the person that's dealing with somebody that's doing other things outside of relationship not to react. That's a benefit. Not to react. Let it sit with you what's going on. And if you can't deal with that, then you leave. You don't need to fight. You don't need to get a gun. You don't need to get a knife. You don't need to get an axe. You don't have to, count body bags. You don't have to buy lime. You don't have to go to Walmart at 2 o'clock in the morning where they can find you on Fatal Attraction buying the damn shovel, the lime, the bag, all that stuff, right? And just so happenly your apartment or your house get an upgrade where you get new sinks, you get new floors, you get new you get the walls painted. All of a sudden, you get an upgrade in the house. Blood splatter. Oh, you ain't gonna find the blood in here because everything is stripped. We brought in the demolition team. They took everything up out of here. You got all new stuff, right? It doesn't need to get that way. It doesn't need to get that way. Being in a relationship is being able to have the uncomfortable conversation and being resolution based. And sometimes it may not work in your benefit. So me personally, I can't send her to Turkey. I can't because I understand both sides of it because you do have some women out here. She didn't say all. She said some. Some women out here, no matter how much they love their husband, do have another man that they love more than him. Simple and plain, because that man is the actual dude that she would be with. That's the man she would actually be faithful to. And there's nothing you can do about it. And it's just the luck of the draw. Some people are just uberly selfish, and some people are not. Some people see that the faithfulness, somebody see the loyalty, and no matter what, the person that they're with is all they see. I know women that the person that they're with is all they see. Obviously, we're not talking about these women. But then you have other women. Hey, man, I love him, but I'm with you. I got a life with you, but I love him over there, though. I ain't gonna hold you. If he call me, I'm going in and I'm a tap dance. I'm just saying. Now, for men, it's not the same. Like for most men, right? Most men, if we marry somebody, there's not a secret woman on the side that basically every time she come around, we get it popping or we have it her way because she wanted it like that. Now, it don't really work like that for men, to be honest with you. Men cheat when we cheat mainly because they never had that experience before. That's all that is. It's all experience based. Ladies, I'm telling y'all the truth. It's all experience based. Get you a dude that's very experienced in sex because if you want him to be faithful, for the most part, he has to have these experiences. Once he had these experiences, he's not going to have a zest to cheat. Because there's some dudes that are just as loyal to be like, yo, my lady is the only person I'm attracted to. Don't get me wrong, I see attraction in all women, but I don't want to take the time to meet her and to go to a hotel and, to get it popping. We all have eyes. Like, let's not be foolish, right? Especially men, we're visual creatures. We don't cut our eyes out once we get married. Like that's just we gotta stop being foolish. Like let's just keep this all the way real. But we don't have to want another woman or desire another woman. We could find somebody attractive, but we don't want her ass. I remember one of my exes, she always used to think I was cheating. I never cheated on her. Never, not one time. Not one time. I say that wholeheartedly, not one time. And the biggest reason why I never cheated on her because to me, she was what I wanted. And I already had those experiences. I like, okay, for example, guys, do this make sense to y'all? You may not have slept with this woman, but you slept with a woman that looked just like this woman before. And because of that, you're cool. Like, yeah, I didn't had that body type before. It was cool. You're attractive, but I don't want you. I don't want to get physical with you. Hi, bye. I'm gonna go home to my lady. Do that make sense? So if you had a Holly Berry type before, like a lot of dudes love to play 2K. If you had the Holly Berry archetype before, and you done had that, where you like Burger King and this, that, and the third, and now you have a Beyonce, you're not gonna wonder what it's like to sleep with Holly Berry or the Holly Berry type because you got Beyonce, and vice versa. If you got you a Beyonce and you done had you a Holly Berry, you get what I'm saying. I almost mixed myself. You get the point that I'm making. If you had the archetype before, you don't really have the zest to, you know what I'm saying? So it's really case by case. It's case by case. And that's why she says some. Shout out to the chat. Oh, wait. Make this clear. She's not cheating on her husband. No, she's not cheating on her husband with that dude if she's sleeping with him. Send her ass to Turkey. Shout out to Rashida. People got to learn how to read. Um, People have to learn how to read. Elder now. I'm just now. I just want my peace. You cheating on wet. You stupid cuz I'm out with all my assets. Not more important than me. Like you cheating on wet. You know what I'm saying? uh Little self-respect. You must have to let that slide. Honestly, feed him, let him play video games. He would never leave. He would never leave you. He said honestly, feed him, let him play video games, and he would never leave you. That's what Ron Jack is saying for a dude not to cheat. I'm going to laugh, cry, but I'm not staying. Once I found out, send her send her ass to Turkey. I'm out. He lost me. Give him my assets. Bye. Yeah, I mean, see, here's my thing when it comes to cheating, right? Here's my thing when it comes to cheating. Cheating is only cheating when the partner doesn't know of your arrangement. All marriages is different, all relationships is different, all situationships is different. Well, situations is situationships is not cheating. It's a situationship. People are loyal to the flesh, right? Um, and I'm speaking candidly and I'm being honest when I say these things, right? Um, but in this aspect alone, it's very scary for men to marry a woman if there's another guy that could call her at the drop of a dime and say, "Hey, I'm in town. I missed you," and she tell her husband, "Hey, I gotta do a couple extra hours at work today. I'm gonna be a little late." Okay, and you think nothing of it because she normally do extra hours at work, um, and vice versa. So at the end of the day, do these things happen? Yes. So that's why I can't send it to Turkey because there are some women that do this. Not all. We obviously said not all. Shout out to my dog Rowan Jack. 22 months of having his membership, man. Appreciate my dog Rowan Jack, man. Showing major, major love in the chat, man. I'm so proud of the Americans right now between FIFA guests celebrating us in our coming together to help save lives in Venezuela. We are amazing. Shout out to my dog Rowan Jack, man. Shout out to my dog, man, for a white pill moment. Stupid. Shout out to my dog Rowan Jack, man, in the chat, holding it down. Yeah. So again, like for the ladies out there, and see, here's the thing, and I've said this before, and I don't want to keep regurgitating the same point, but people are going to do what they want to do. We spoke about LeVar Ball wife earlier that they've been married for 30 years and she wanted to do something different. And to his credit, he didn't bash her. It sounded like he was hurt. He sounded like he didn't want her to go, but he had to take that on the chin and just let his wife or former wife do what she feels that she needs to do. Period. Because he loved her. He loved her enough for her to stay, and he loved her enough to let her go at the same time. So you have to respect that. People are going to do what they want to do. So the fact that she's saying that some married women have other men that they love more than their husband, I think that's a very real thing. Do people want to hear it? Do men want to hear it? Hell no. Hell no. Do other women that don't represent those places of women want to hear that? No. But when are we going to we have to address the truth in the room. The truth is the truth. And some women move like this. Period. And at the end of the day, if you respect your relationship, other people will. If you don't respect, excuse me, if you don't respect your relationship, nobody else will. If you respect your relationship, everybody else will. Even if they don't like the relationship, even if they don't, agree with the relationship, the fact that you're saying, "Yo, this is my relationship," respect it. I won't allow you to disrespect him. If your man say, "Yo, I won't allow y'all to disrespect her." Y'all can say whatever y'all want in y'all own circle. I can't police that. I can't control that. But when you're around me, shut that shit down. Cause I'm gonna let y'all all feel it. And vice versa. So when that happens, other people have no choice but to respect the relationship. They may not like it, but they have to respect it. And this will avoid some women who are married that love other men or a man more than the man that they actually married. So that's why I cannot send what she said to Turkey, because it's an absolute fact. She didn't say all. I said we. She didn't say all. She said some married women. So I get why some of y'all will want to send it to Turkey, but the facts is the facts. Shout out to my dog Biggs in the building. You already know my dude Biggs in the building. He said facts, big facts. At the end of like again, I've dealt with that. I've dealt with women that anytime I call them, whether they're married, whether they got a dude at home, hey, hey, and me, I don't ask if you got a dude at home. Like, yo, what are you doing? I'm in town. You are? Okay. And after we finish, oh, I gotta get back home. I got him waiting for me. Him? Who's him? Oh my! I didn't tell you I got married. No, tell me nothing. I had to see you. You was in town though. So some women do that. Some. I remember there was several other celebrity women that came out and said the same thing too about their actual relationship. I remember the girl Corinne Steffens, aka known Superhead. She was one of the women. I believe she was married to, I forget the guy she was married to. He has a show, I believe, on HBO at the time. And she said when Lil Wayne would call her, like, "Yeah, yo, I'm in town," and like this, I'm not throwing this under the bus. This is public information. He was like, "Yo, I'm in town." She was like, "All right, I'm on my way," and be gone for days. So that's why I can't send it to Turkey, right? Respect is respect. That's why you own space. That's why having your own space is everything. I don't have to be around it. Facts. Facts. Walking away, walking away, he about to respect. Yeah. Let people go. Facts. So again, that's why I cannot send it to Turkey. Because people gonna do what they want to do. Is either you stick around or you don't. Period. Period. Is either you stick around or you don't. Most guys ain't gonna like the fact that if he learns that his woman has another dude that she loves more than him, and if he calls her or he's around, she going like a magnet. She makes her way towards him. Ain't no dude gonna be jacking that. Not when if their relationship is supposed to be, between them. Now, if there's an open relationship, hey, ain't no conversation needs to be had. Everybody doing their own thing. Like, when are we going to address the truth? When are we going to keep it funky in the real world? We can say whatever we want on the internet, right? But in the real world, when you really like somebody, you open up different type of avenues for them to do certain things. Like, let's just keep it all the way 100. Let's keep it all the way 100. I ain't gonna hold y'all. The first time I really liked the girl, like really liked the girl. I was in elementary school and she didn't like my ass. Like, I gave her a flower. I told my mother with her hard earned money, yo, mom, buy this little pocket flower. You know what I'm saying? Like, little thing at my in my third grade class. She cute. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to give her this flower. Man, I gave her the flower. Mind you, I sit directly in front of her. So my heart, third grade, 8 years old, doing this, pounding out my damn chest. Turned around. I was thinking about you. And whatever else I said, presented her with the flower. The whole class was like, "Aw." I got the whole girls in the class going, "Aw." Even the teacher go, "Aw." You know what this girl did? She took her pencil, number 2, and was trying to kill me. She started stabbing me in the eye. That's what she did. Yes. You know what I'm saying? God damn it. Still traumatized. Y'all think I'm playing. I'm dead serious. You know what I'm saying? I forget her last name, but I remember her first name, Kansas. God damn it. I think her name was Green. Kansas Green, I think her name was. By the time we got to junior high school, she was busted anyway. You know what I'm saying? Stabbed me in the eye with a number 2 pencil. You know what I'm saying? All my little heart, you know what I'm saying? My little heart all broken. You know what I mean? Shout out to the chat. Hit them likes, hit the 100s, and does something with the growth. So that's a true story, though. That's a true story. I got stabbed in the eye in the 3rd grade when I tried to get a little girl a little pocket flower. I had the whole class going, oh, you know what I mean? Feel me? She said, what happened? What happened? I had to be rushed to the damn hospital. That's what happened. She really tried to kill me. I won't say kill me, but she stabbed me in the eye like she with a number 2 pencil. You know what I'm saying? They had to rush me to the hospital. What's wrong with Kansas Green bum ass? You know what I'm saying? Shoot. I was all in the 3rd grade. Came back to class, they had to move her chair all in the back. You know what I'm saying? They had to move me to the front. Yeah. God damn it. What's wrong with her? Gave her a little fruit jello cup, you know what I'm saying? And a good cup too, you know what I'm saying? Trying to share her with my Dunkaroos. Do you know how special you gotta be for an 8-year-old child to share his Dunkaroos in his fruit cup? Do you know how special you gotta be? Yo, stop playing. Stop playing. Ash has a type though. Crazy. Nah. I don't want no crazy woman. You know what I'm saying? All the crazy women, I get them away from me. But I do attract some crazy women though. You know what I mean? That's not right. She was dead wrong. Yeah, nah, she was dead wrong. Dunkaroo, Row and Jack, Row and Jack, you feel me, dog? Dunkaroos was serious, you feel me? Dunkaroos was next. That was top tier. That's a top tier snack. You know what I'm saying? And I had the chocolate with the chocolate sprinkle Dunkaroos. Fruit cup on top of that. You know what I'm saying? Here, a little fruit cup just to give you a little balanced meal. You know what I'm saying? I'm 8 years old thinking about this. Little balance, little balanced meal. Get this Dunkaroos and a little fruit cup. You know what I'm saying? We just chill right here with the little pocket flower. Got you. Nah. She stabbed me in the eye with a number 2 pencil. Yeah, that's the type of time she was on. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Dunkaroos and blue Jello. Next level. Next level. You send Kansas to Turkey. Yo, on the first class flight, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if you send her on the train to Turkey. You know what I'm saying? The slower the better for me. You know what I mean? Word. What's wrong with her crazy ass? All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Y'all already know what time it is. It's time to wrap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snap, so you get the finest of movies, shows. I was about to say Dunkaroos. When you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button. Excuse me. That's the word button hyphenated sign in the word snaps.com. Again, that's the word button, hyphenated sign in the word snaps.com. First hot topic of the night. Shout out to Washida. I know your mama was pissed the hell off. Yeah. Yeah, and my mother worked for the Supreme Court of New York, so when she came in there with the business suit, I think that now that explains it. Oh, alright, okay, cool, okay, cool, okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that explains a lot. That explains a lot because she went in there, she wasn't happy, you know what I'm saying? But later on, I got engulfed with marking up stuff. Like I used to tag, and I tagged up the whole bathroom with big letters on my tag name. And the principal came and got me, and he was like, he took me to the bathroom. He was like, "Yo, you did all this?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "All right, go back to class." I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, what's gonna happen? He ain't never told my mother nothing. So I think that's why he never told my mother anything, because I think she went up there and threatened everybody. And it was like, yo, we just gonna let him rock. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that explains it. Okay, yeah. She was pissed. She was pissed the hell off though. And she wanted to know what the little girl looked like. She wanted to see the little girl. She wanted to see the little girl. She wanted to see their mother. My pops wasn't jacking that neither, but my mom's wasn't feeling that at all. And my mother spent, good money on giving to me to get this girl a flower. You know what I'm saying? Back in the early 90s, you know what I'm saying? Getting a pocket flower, that was top tier, you know what I'm saying? Top tier. I mean, just saw him act. Yo, Ron Jack, chill. Yo, chill. He said we just saw him ash and we pressed memories. Nah, chill. You know what I'm saying? Chill. Chill. You know what I'm saying? Chill. Chill. All right, y'all. Moving on to our first hot topic of the night. Uh OJ Simpson will not be honored among the Bills legends at the new stadium. Excuse me. OJ Simpson will not be honored among the Bills legends at the Buffalo new stadium. Uh, Statement made. We have made an organizational decision that it is not a fit to display inside our stadium and family circle. Bills Chief Operating Officer Pete Gilia had made this statement. Let me know what y'all think about this in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about this in the chat. Again, OJ Simpson will not be honored among the other Buffalo Bills legend at the new Buffalo Bills stadium or arena. And they said that it was an organizational decision, uh, that he's not, or it's not a fit to display him inside their stadium and family circle. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Uh, Shout out to Rowan. Shout out to Rashida. She was cracking up. Shout out to Rowan Jack. The juice. He said the juice is loose. Yo, you are funny. The juice is not loose because they not gonna let him in the stadium. They not gonna let his memory in the stadium. Uh, Me personally, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Um, the man was amazing at football. He was amazing at football. He hasn't done anything to basically lose the right for him not to be honored in football, regardless of on anything. Because y'all said it in the chat, he was found not guilty. Now, there has been rumors about Ben Roethlisberger on him having special exploits with women that he could have possibly took advantage of. These are all allegations. Like there's been 2 to 3 women. Y'all honor him, and these are allegations. O.J. Simpson went to court and was found not guilty based on evidence. And not to mention, nobody talks about the fact that their gardener was only known as what, the Hillside Strangler. Their gardener, the gardener that worked for OJ and Nicole, at the time of her death, unalive like 7 other women, and is doing time for it right now. And he also said that, yo, I did Nicole too. And they shoot it off. They say, yeah, nah, you didn't do it. Nah, you didn't do it. And they just shoot it off. And based on evidence, he was found not guilty. So outside of that, there shouldn't be any other reason why that they want to honor this legend. And he's like OJ Simpson wasn't good at football. He was exceptional. He was exceptional. He had records back in the time that he played, I believe, like, what's that, the 70s? He had records in the 70s, and they played lesser games that some running backs still can't touch still to this day. That's how electric OJ Simpson was. Not just in college, because also he won the Heisman, but in the NFL, he was electric. And he hasn't done anything to deter his legacy on the football field. He hasn't done anything that sacrificed his space. So the reason why I brought up Ben Roethlisberger with all these allegeds, y'all celebrate him, and these are all allegeds. But this man actually went to court and won, and was found not guilty. So he's guilty just because y'all want him to be guilty, and he has to pay for not being guilty. His name was mentioned in something. So what? Why is that so what? There's players that's in the NFL that was mentioned in somebody being unalive on the day of the draft. And guess what? Some of these players didn't get drafted because the NFL teams didn't know enough. They were like, "Hold up, you're mentioned in the unaliving? Yeah, bro, you're a first round pick, but we're not gonna take you." The whole NFL didn't take him. Whole NFL. Come to find out, that same day of the draft or the day after the draft, they went to go speak to the police, and come to find out they had no involvement in the unaliving. Oh, he didn't do it. He not involved in. Okay, let's have the supplemental draft. Get him on the team here. And in his legacy, he's not going to be mentioned, or his accolades is not going to be tied into something that he wasn't tied into. But the fact that this man, after his career, was found not guilty of something, y'all still treat this man as if he's guilty of something. So I don't like this. I don't like this. And is it situational based? Somewhat, somewhat, because we spoke about Ben Roethlisberger and his so-called allegeds. In his alleged situations, it just went away. It just went away. And then it happened again. Somebody else alleged, oh yeah, he over here taking advantage. Then that goes away. How's all this stuff just go away? Where's the real hard proof in these situations? So again, it's to me they picking and choosing who they want to celebrate, who they don't. Shout out to the chat. That's some BS. They better they better get on them files. I'm sick of them. Them haters, them mad. They didn't want him with her. My goodness, they sick with hate. Yeah, that's a fact because at the time she was a trophy. She was a trophy. Like most people don't know that OJ was married to a whole sister before that. Whole sister. She was fine too. But the woman, his second wife was a white lady, and that was his trophy. And they didn't want to see that because OJ was doing everything that a successful older white guy would be doing. Have a young, wife who happened to be white, who is at golfing, living in the places that he's living. He's doing all the things that the upper echelon of finances would be doing. Everybody is his friends, but when that happened, hey, he can't get nobody to call him, talk to a judge, talk to a lawyer, nothing. Now, when this man is found not guilty, y'all still treat this man as if he's guilty, and ignoring all the other signs due to the case. And I just think that's whack. I think that's super whack. And they said it in the chat. They just don't want him to part of the history. They picking and choosing. They picking and choosing because I guarantee you this didn't happen to Jim Kelly, but if this was Jim Kelly, they still would have found a way to put him in their Hall of Fame. We see the same thing with R. Kelly and and Elvis. See the same thing. Elvis married his cousin, and she was like 15, 16 years old. But they still celebrating Elvis. They still playing his music. They done gave Elvis like 3 movies. And his last movie, they put so much money into the movie, they wanted to make sure that we know that Elvis is important in their eyes. And he did this deliberately. So the rules, man, the rules, man, the rules, man, the rules. And we wonder who rules is this. We know who rules is this. The power that be. The power that be. Simple and plain, the power that be. And the crazy thing about this, there's not one person that we could point to. That's the difficult part about it. We have to say the system because it is a system. It's systemic. So we have to say that. So I don't like this at all. All right, y'all, moving on to our next topic. And again, if this is your first time tuning and tapping in, I am Ashley Lovechild. This is Ken and Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm just doing that at a different location and place and time. And we're still gonna have a good time. This is episode 272. It's a lot of episodes. And we're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We just went over 14,000. I was gonna have like a big 14,000, but I didn't do it in time, before I came on live. But that's a major accomplishment. I thank y'all for y'all major support. I appreciate that. Thank you. Shout out to Ashita. I can't with them the powers that should not be. I like that wording. I like that wording. I'm always bigged up, man. It's so sad what men have to go through with these small world people. You'll be surprised when financially when you make a certain amount of money, you're just in a different place, right? You shop different, you go to different things, and you just be surprised. And this is why we have so many people that's without and undersourced. In order to have rich people, you have to have poor people. The more you have a middle class and a leg up to try to get to the upper class no longer becomes important. It's no longer exclusive. So the reason why the upper class is so exclusive is because you have a whole lot of poor people, and it's designed to have more poor people. Simple and plain. Like I realized that when I start going to different supermarkets, I'm like, damn, everything in here $5. Everything. Not everything, but you get what I'm saying. Like everything in here start with $5. Like so, you mean to tell me that same ketchup that I would normally get at Walmart will be $89? It's $5 in here. Damn, that's on purpose. That's on purpose. That's just a small sample size of what I'm talking about. That's on purpose because the people that's basically upper class can afford that, and it's designed to have more people who are without. Because people who are without basically look up to the people that have. Not saying that they want to be like them, but you want to be the have. You want to be the person that have and can afford. You don't want to be the have not. So that's why that's important because once the middle class grows, even though the middle class is actually what expands the country, what makes the country grow, what makes the economy go, they like, yeah, forget all that. Forget all that, bro. Nah. We need that part of that middle class to go back to being poor. That's what we need. And that's done on purpose. They got all the money because they make it. The haters and the minds are small. They have to know the heart actually loves child. That's a fact. That's a fact. But that's something I realized, you know, in certain spaces. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic in time to rap. Uh, the end of an era, y'all. It's the end of an era. Love and hip hop is ending after 15 years on TV. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, hit them hearts and hit them 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. And remember, y'all take advantage of the memberships because also you get exclusive footage to, excuse me, you get exclusive footage to my new album that I'm recording, in the process of recording my new album. And you're going to get, some footage. Yeah, get footage. And that's going to be on all things. So you get first listens to exclusive music, all that stuff. So all that in there, all that. So again, it's the end of an era. Love and Hip Hop. The show is ending after 15 years on TV. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Big deal or not a big deal? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. For me personally, it's about time. It's about time. I love the premise of Love and Hip Hop, or what I thought it was supposed to be about when I was a young kid when it first came out. Well, 15 years ago, 15. Well, not a kid, but y'all get the point I'm making. Adult, grown, young adult, right? What it was designed for. Originally, Love and Hip Hop was originally supposed to be about Jim Jones, his girl, and his peoples like Cam and Dipset, Jewels, people that he rock with. Is supposed to show the love in hip hop, meaning their relationships in hip hop, and as gritty as hip hop seemed to be back at that time, late 90s, early 2000s. This was more early 2000s. Um, it was supposed to be like real gritty, and it was supposed to be like, where's the love in hip hop? And where's the softer side of hip hop? So showing your love interest is the softer side of hip hop. I honestly thought we would be getting a different product in Love and Hip Hop. I thought the product was hip hop and you showing the love in hip hop, meaning your girl or your wife. Not let's meet up, drink, and fight. And after 15 years, yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. We don't need this no more. We haven't needed Love and Hip Hop in a minute. It's been a struggle bus. Cause all they do, drink. Somebody said this about you, right? They say, hey man, they said your weave stink. Ain't nothing to do with hip hop. Ain't nothing to do with music. Your weave stink. And you wear small clothes. What? And they get to fighting like it's Jerry Springer. Love and Hip Hop, the product on what it became, is not what hip hop's about. It's not even what love in hip hop is about. Love in hip hop is about. It's supposed to be a double entendre. So the fact that it's going off, good riddance. We don't need this. We don't need this. It is super toxic. It is super toxic. The show is super toxic. All they show is people that basically are toxic in their relationship. It's entertainment, but I also thought it was also entertaining to see love in hip hop. The show is called Love and Hip Hop. Where's the love? And where's the hip hop? There's no hip hop in Love and Hip Hop. Like the show started doing other things too that used to boggle my mind. They used to show people go to the studio, somebody would be recording, and somebody will walk in like, yo, we need to talk. In what world do that happen? Especially in New York? Dog, if you're paying for studio time and somebody want to come in and have a conversation with you on your studio time, that's not real. That's not real. You don't know. No, we don't have conversations during my studio time. That's not real. I've never had anyone in all the years I've started recording. The first time I ever recorded my own songs was in 2007. Since 2007, I've never had anyone come to my studio session to confront me on anything. They may have wanted to say something to me. Anything outside of the studio session, meaning like after I'm done, oh, we can have a conversation, but if you confront me with some BS, I don't care if it's petty, catty, or real. This is not the time nor the place. So the fact that they was doing that, it's like, yo, this ain't real. This ain't authentic. This ain't tough. This not what we do as hip hop artists. So yeah, nah, yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool. We don't need messy, toxic drama and people who are not talented. Like I'm gonna just keep it real with you. I don't care who take that any type of way on Love and Hip Hop. Majority of the people on the show isn't talented. They've had Love and Hip Hop as a brand for the last 15 years, and maybe like two people actually use Love and Hip Hop as a platform and actually made it work for them. Everybody else been on the show for a long time and haven't dropped, and the songs that they drop has been uberly ass, and they've had the ultimate platform to promote their music on. Maybe two people in 15 years, two people, Cardi B, and that's it. Everybody else has been ass. Everybody else that's been on Love and Hip Hop from that point blew up before Love and Hip Hop. And the people that didn't blow up after Love and Hip Hop or during Love and Hip Hop, music is ass. They in there fighting. They not in there worried about no music. They not in there worried about no song. Shit not hitting, dog. And you had the ultimate platform to promote videos, music, appearances, all type of stuff. And Cardi B is the only one that did that. And mind you, Cardi B, when she was on the show, she was a stripper. I thought she was a stripper. She was like, nah, I want to be popping. I want to rap. And look at Cardi B taking it serious and use Love and Hip Hop as a platform. How many more seasons you seen Cardi B on Love and Hip Hop after she was able to take control of her career and make her music pop? Not again. Not again. But you see the same people every year talking about Love and Hip Hop. What's the music? Ass. So yeah, I'm glad this show was done because it didn't it didn't symbolize what hip hop was and love in hip hop was. Period. So I'm glad that it's done. So shout out to the chat. Y'all going in the chat. Does this mean the Zeus Network is going to hire the whole cast now? We know where the real chaos is at. Shout out to Hazel. Uh, Rowan Jack. It's all CIA. Uh, you better talk about it. You better talk about it, Hazel. So basically, no more throwing drinks and flipping tables on Mondays. My life is going to be so peaceful now. All them shows are aimed to bring down good lives. And you know what's crazy too? When you watch shows like that, you invite that energy in your own life. Like I used to joke with my ex about this. I'm like, yo, every time, like, and this is like in my early 20s, the person I was dealing with at the time when I used to watch Love and Hip Hop. I was like, yo, every time a new Love and Hip Hop come on, and we start arguing. Like when we in watch this, we cool. Everything is cool. It's peaceful in the crib. But now this show on. Now we arguing about stupid stuff. I say, yo, don't forget to take out the trash. You like, oh, you trying to call me dirty? Like, no, you on your way out. Take the trash out. Stop playing. Oh, no, you trying to call me dirty? You been watching a lot of Love and Hip Hop, huh? Yeah, it's too. Every time this show is on, we arguing. So you seeing that energy, you can invite it into your life unknowingly. Is the point that I'm making? Y'all laughing at me in the chat. I'm dead ass though. Unknowingly, you can invite that energy into your life based on the things that you watch because you think that's like a choice to handle stuff like that, right? That's why sitcoms are so important from like back in the day because when we went through those type of things in our own life, like we thought about sitcoms and people our own life, like maybe I should handle it with love and tender care instead of like, yo, so what's up? What's popping? You know what I'm saying? Because it's that energy, that's that loving hip hop energy, right? But that's not real hip hop and that's not real love. It's the opposite, right? That's chaos and dysfunction. Like that's what the show should have been called, chaos and dysfunction, because ain't none of them did nothing how they were supposed to do it, in my opinion. I just have to be honest with y'all. So I'm glad that the show's over with. It been over, and the only reason why it stayed on because it suited a certain demographic that want to see toxicness. It suited a certain demographic. It suited a younger demographic, people who are in high school. That's not for, for college and professional people to have an insight in hip hop and see the love in hip hop. That's for high schoolers, junior high schoolers that want to see chaos and messy and toxicness. That's what that's about. So I'm glad that that show is over with. It had no benefit to the culture at all. No, it's true. All them shows is meant to bring us down. Yeah, nah, that's what I'm saying. Like when every time, every season that they will come on, and then like when you in the house and it's you and your partner or whatever, and y'all watching shows or whatever. Every time I say, "Yo," because remember, Love and Hip Hop, and then Black Ink will come on, right? It's like, yo, we starting to argue. Like, why are we arguing? Like, we wasn't arguing 2 weeks ago or a week ago about the same thing. I said, hey, baby, don't forget to take out your trash on your way out. And you're like, okay, babe, you give me a kiss and everything. Now, so you trying to call me dirty? What? You been watching too much Love and Hip Hop, huh? Yeah, nah. Just like Bad Boys, P Diddy did not come up with that name. Yeah, like all of this stuff is meant for chaos. And it's so crazy with hip hop. It's meant for chaos, and the love in hip hop. That name is so powerful. It could have been meant for so much more. Like I have to be honest with you. Like what show I really liked? I liked the Ti and Tiny show where they showed their family, they showed the love, and they showed them actually doing music. They showed Ti getting paid and doing features and all. Like I like that. That was tough because you seen like a real family dynamic. Is it perfect? No. It's family. No family's perfect. If you see perfect people or as family, you know they lying. But it's basically what you saw is what you got. Perfect or imperfect, they dealing with this stuff, but you saw the love. And you seen the hip hop in that show. And Love and Hip Hop could have been so much more, but they chose to go the gimmicky, ratchet, toxic route for those clicks. And it got tied like you gotta remember too, like a lot of people on Love and Hip Hop, like they was 30s, 40s, 50s, damn near 60s doing the same damn thing 15 years later. Seriously. And people say, yo, you age in hip hop. I'm not aging hip hop like when it comes to music, right? Music and how you live your life, that shit matters. That shit matters. The older you get, the more music you should be doing because you have more perspective. That's why when you're older in hip hop, it matters when people continue to do music. But if you're not doing music and in your personal life, you're not living right. You got, you know, a woman over here and a woman over there. And the reason why that's messed up because they both think that they're the one because you're telling them they're the one. You're not keeping it P by saying, hey, I love you, but I'm going to date somebody else while I'm dating you. And if that's okay with you, then we could build together. If that's not okay with you, I respect it. Just close the door on the way out because you have to respect how I feel. I'm not going to change based on my lifestyle because you don't agree with it. I'm going to be dating this woman while I'm dating you, baby. Cool? Cool. If you're not cool, I respect you enough to see you go. That's P. It's not cool when you got a situation over here and then down the hall you got another girl over here and they don't know nothing about it. Or they do know about each other, but you're like, oh what? That's just my sister. Oh nah, that's just my homegirl. Nah, that's not P. That's not player. That's what makes it dirty. That's what makes it wrong. So yeah, that ain't love. That's not hip hop. I'm just gonna keep it honest with you. That's not hip hop. Shout out to Neo. Shout out to Neo. You know what I'm saying? He keeping it hip hop over there. Everybody know what's up. Everybody know what's going on. You have to respect that. Because all you could do is tell the person the truth. Is either you're going to deal with it or you not. Is either you're going to go or you're going to be a part of it. Period, point blank. I think I'm crazy, but I'm dead serious. Like Love and Hip Hop could have been so much more. I'm glad it's going off. It did nothing for the culture. It did nothing for the culture. Shout out to y'all in the chat. Again, hit them hearts, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. This is episode 272. And we're on every Wednesday, every Sunday at 10:30. I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. Y'all been absolutely amazing. Moving on to our next hot topic in Time to Rap. Uh oh, another video goes viral. A woman asks, what makes a man choose one woman over the other? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. You know, I would love to hear some of y'all answers in the chat regarding that. What makes a man choose one woman over another? It went viral, and all types of people was chiming in about this. So again, let me know what y'all think about this in the chat. Uh, for me to answer this question, I'm just gonna be direct, and I'm not gonna give any like anecdote stories. I'm just gonna keep it 100 with y'all. What makes a man choose another woman over the other is if that woman is gonna be down with the program. And what did that mean? Whatever program that man sets, she's down with. If the man says, "Yo, I want to be with you and only you, and I want to build with you, and this is what I expect." And if she's down with that, that's what he chooses because he can expect to get what he wants, especially if that woman wants him the way that she wants him. That's what make a man choose a woman over another woman. Has nothing to do with your looks, has nothing to do with your body. It has nothing to do with the kind of car that you drive or your education. It has nothing to do with um, how good you are at your navigational skills on the road, how helpful you think you are. No. If that woman is in service into his program, that's what makes a man choose a woman over another woman. Simple and plain. That's what I said. I don't have much on that. Is that simple? It's that simple. And mind you, there'll be some people that will hear this and be like, no, he meant this. No, I said what I said. This is what I meant. It's just that simple. If she adheres to the program, if she's in service to him and the household, and every man is different. Every man program is different. And if you like him the way you like him, and you adhere to his program, he's going to choose you over the other woman. Period. Someone will say, well, that don't stop him from cheating. That don't stop anybody from cheating. It's not about cheating. It's about getting chose. Now, cheating is a whole nother subject that we can't take this to because again, I had said earlier, some people are just going to cheat. That's not necessarily a man thing or a woman thing. Some people are just going to cheat. And men, we cheat based on lack of experience. Period. That's just how that go. But if you want a man to choose you, worry about him choosing you is in heeding to the program. Period. That's just how it go. Shout out to the chat. They're going in the chat. I love when y'all go in the chat. Uh, it's really about the looks. Shout out to Hazel. It's really about looks. A man will always choose the woman who gives him peace over the one who brings him a storm. Facts. Uh, Roll Jack F. Marry Kill. Washida. Men answer that. I'm staying in my lane. Feminine energy. Talk about feminine energy, Washida. Um, the girl Joy, I think her name is Joy, I spoke about her on the last episode. Joy, it's something Joy. And she was the lady in the video with P. Diddy and the porn star. And she was doing her thing. I can see why men like her. I can see why. I can see why men like her. She did an interview on Cam Newton podcast, and her energy exude feminine energy. Not because she did a sex video. I'm just talking about just her energy and how she spoke. We're not talking about the actions. We're talking about how she spoke, how she spoke, how she even dealing with hard questions, how she spoke with Cam Newton, how she carried herself within. I can see why men like her because she has uber. She's oozing with feminine energy. So that's why I had to mention that because you said feminine energy. Washida, have you ever played F Mary Kill? Hazel, if one woman provides comfort and the other brings endless drama, the choice is easy. Rashida, Ron Jack, aura. She said her aura. No, right. It was her feminine energy. Just you could see why men like her because she just has an energy that is soft. It is feminine. Even she got. I mean, she did a thing in the video like so she got skills. But the point that I'm making, I can see how men like her outside of, you know, that she's not an ugly woman. She's a nice looking lady. But just based on her personality and the energy that she exuded, it was very feminine. So I can see how men like her for real. So yeah, so I had to speak on that based on you said feminine energy. So yeah, so it's just that simple. It's just that simple. Um, I said I wasn't gonna give you no anecdote stories, but again, I had an ex. I would tell her like, yo, I'm not homosexual. I'm not gonna fight with you. You're a woman. Let that sit with you. You're a woman. I'm not homosexual. So if I fight a dude, I'm fighting a dude. I can't fight you. I'm not gonna fight you. You're not gonna win, first of all, and secondly, that's very unbecoming of me. So I'm not gonna go back and forth. Like there's no back and forth. I took care of this and I took care of that. Period. Now, if you have like, if you have something to say, save it for later. I don't want to hear it right now. And then when we talk, we could talk instead of talking at each other because you're not gonna you're just not gonna win this. So go somewhere, sit down. We could talk about it later. If we do talk about it now and it's inconvenience to me, I can deal with as well. But how does it solve the problem? When you have like, that's what I don't get about relationships. When there's issues in the relationships, it's about solving it, right? And it's about getting your best and the other person's best, right? So, are you more focused on being right or fixing what the problem is? So, it's just that simple for men. That's how men choose other women over other women. If you follow the program, he will choose you. It's just that simple. If you giving him what J. Cole said in the songs, I love it when you give me head and I hate it when you give me headaches. If you giving him headaches, if he feel like he's coming home and fighting, with a dude, basically, it's like, yo, I'm not fighting you, a woman, and you talking to me like you a dude. Dudes don't talk to me the way you're talking to me right now. And I don't let people talk to me how you talking to me right now. So stop. Go somewhere and sit down. Stop. So we have to understand the whole goal of relationships is to what? Have the uncomfortable conversation and be resolution based. So That it's just that simple. That's how men choose other women over other women. It's just that simple. Shout out to the chat. Uh, that's what's up. He said I understand what you mean. Shout out to Washida. I didn't know what the letter mean, but Ashley just said it. No, I never played the game. Married. Wow. Okay. So okay. All right. Everybody was caught up on that one. All right. Cool. Yeah, like so, it's just that simple. It's just that simple. It's not some special thing. It's not some, oh no, you gotta grow a six toe. You gotta, da 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 da. No, it's just that simple. The man that you like, he has a program, and if you adhere to his program, he would choose you. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Period. You don't have to be 6'2". You don't have to be, 2 pounds. No, adhere to the program that he sets because you do want him. Every person wants somebody. That's what kills me about with someone would be talking, oh, we do these things for men. It's not, it's for the person that you like. So if you like men or like women, you're gonna do the thing that to attract a man or woman if that's what you like. If you like smart people, if you're attracted to smart people, you're gonna say and do things to attract other smart people. You're not gonna say some dumb shit when you're attracted to smart people. Same thing with liking the opposite sex or the same sex, whatever that you're into, you're gonna do what it takes for to get the maximize attention or love from the person that you like. And if you adhere to their program and you want a dude, you have to adhere to his program to get chose by that dude that you like, not by all men, not the dude down the hall, not the dude at the local gift shop, the man that you like. That's simple. It's that simple. Shout out to y'all in the chat. Y'all been I've seen them hundreds, I've seen them hearts, man. I really appreciate that. It does help with the growth of the show. Thank you. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic in time to wrap. Footage has been leaked. TMZ by TMZ get everything, man. TMZ is like the FBI. So footage had been leaked via TMZ. Big Tigger, for those who don't know, Big Tigger, major hip hop contributor in the video music space, radio space. He's been a part of hip hop for as long as I can remember back until the late late 90s. Big Tig in the Basement. Some of you may know Big Tig in the Basement. So video footage have been leaked via TMZ. Big Tigger alleged spousal, excuse me, spousal assault captured on ring cam. Again, footage leaked via TMZ. Big Tigger alleged spousal assault captured on ring cam. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, shout out to the chat. Been going in all night with the engagements. Appreciate that as well. Let me know what y'all think about this in the chat. I would love to know y'all thoughts about this. I spoke about this last episode. That he was basically charged for domestic violence, child endangerment, and his wife made a post that her face was busted up, and then he makes a post. He went on his radio station. He did a whole thing about, hey, yo, these allegations is not true. I would never do that. And they gave him child endangerment because they had their whatever they had and the child was in the house. So I don't understand how they don't put that on both parents instead of just one, but cool, right? So now the footage has been leaked regarding said assault. Now what I saw, and I have to be honest, and this is what I said before, and I have to add this before I add what I'm saying now. I said before, keep your hands to yourself. Your items are also an extension of you. So if they are not your items, keep your hands off of it. Keep your hands off of it. I've never seen trust be cured by going through and looking over your partner's phone. I've never seen trust be solved that way. Never. I never see somebody say, "Let me get your phone." You look through their phone. You go through. Oh, they're not cheating. Oh, they're not. They don't have. Oh, so I'm no longer have that worry that this person is not faithful or this, that, and the third. It doesn't solve anything. That's all out of insecurity. If it's not yours, keep your hands off of it and keep your hands off each other. So with that being said, now that the footage is leaked, I still keep the same. I still keep the same stance. In the footage, you see her taking the phone, taking his phone, which he had said, or somebody had said, or on a report it's been said that she took his phone, and you've seen him like, yo, don't do that. And from behind, he's trying to basically take his phone. He's trying to do one of these. Hey, I know how you do. You put the butt on the dude. You know, you got to use your leverage. Put the butt on him, and like you know what I'm saying. It's a tug of war for the phone. And within that tug of war, they both fall, and you hear her say "ow" or whatever the case may be. I have to be honest with you. Domestic violence, and that's on both parts. That's on both parts. Now, if there was swinging, if there was like the boom bops, you know, if there was pushing, if there was choking, headlock, yeah, that's assault. But you got two people that's struggling for the phone. Is that assault? No. Is that unbecoming? Is that how you want to solve the situation? Of course not. But assault? Come on. Come on. Like when are we gonna keep it real? When are we gonna keep it real? She went for the phone. He was trying to get the phone back from her, and she had the butt on him. So she had the phone like this. He was trying to get it from behind her, like scoop it from the back. She put the ass on him, and now they both all show and they hit something. Some typical old shit. She old, he old. And if y'all both fall, something gonna hurt. Somebody gonna say ow out this mug. Something gonna hurt. Assault? Yeah, throw that off the table, dog. Throw that off the table. Throw that off the table. Um, like I learned early in my early 20s, cursing your girl out, your wife out, they consider that a form of domestic violence. Yes, yes. So if you say "f you," your box smell like train juice, and that's why I didn't touch you in the last 2 days. That's assault. That's not assault. Okay. So in this particular situation, based on the video, I didn't see assault. I seen two people going for the phone, being extremely toxic, and it's a toxic situation, and they need help. They need couples therapy, and they need help. They need to learn how to deal with these type of situations because a situation like this, it can only escalate. This is how domestic violence escalates. When you have a situation where it wasn't violent per se, it wasn't domestic, but then next time it could be like, yo, get up off of me, right? That subtle push, get up off me, right? And then that could escalate all in itself. So I don't like what happened, but at the end of the day, keep your hands to yourself. And if it's not yours, keep your hands off of it because that says more on you than the other person. When you have to check somebody's phone, when you have to follow them, he said he was going to get his hair cut, but I just don't know. You got to follow him. That says more about you, and or vice versa. You got to follow her. She said she was going to get her hair done, but I don't know. If you got to follow her, that says more about you than her or him. So at the end of the day, I didn't like what I saw. I don't think they like what they saw. I thought it was an ugly situation. People have ugly situations without it being quote unquote domestic. It's just shit that be happening in the crib, and these people been married for they've been married for a while. Like so, their arguments is no longer, "Come on, babe," da 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 da, and walk into the next room. Nah, their arguments is like, Like F you. And then like slam of the door and walking off. Well, F you too. You know what I'm saying? Those are them type of arguments. When you put that type of time with people. But they need new tools to be able to resolve their situation. They need new tools to have uncomfortable conversations and be resolution based. If they can't, then they should, explore the option of being divorced, because this situation can only get uglier if they don't get the tools to solve their situation and to basically have the uncomfortable conversation without getting ugly like this. This was very ugly, very ugly. So at the end of the day, that's what needs to happen based on the video. Again, I didn't see the like the domestic. I thought, based on her picture, I thought you was gonna see a couple of boo bops, maybe a suplex or something like that. Yeah, we didn't see none of that. We didn't see none of that. This was embarrassing. This wasn't something that was like, yo, he in there whooping her or she in there snuffing him. This wasn't that. This is more embarrassing more than anything else. This is not helping their family. Instead of going to court for domestic, they need to go to a counselor to get the tools that they need to resolve their situation. If they can't do that, they at least need to do it enough to be amicable to continue to raise their child together. Simple and plain. That's how that should go. Shout out to y'all in the chat. Uh she did that to herself. No, that's not. She needs to tell the truth. Emotions can get you in trouble. They need help. And third party, whoever knows better. Public figures often face intense scrutiny, and this case highlights the intersection of celebrity culture and private domestic issues. Love that. For someone, for something so small. Yeah, because like I've seen couples argue about sugar. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've seen that. Because it's not about the sugar, right? It's about everything after that. It's about all the emotions. It's about all the toxicity. It could be something. It could easily be about something else. The sugar is just the trigger that pulls the shot, right? There's an argument that y'all had 2 weeks ago that's still unresolved, and one person think it's resolved, and the other person is like, nah, I can't sleep at night. So now you start talking about the sugar. Damn, ain't no sugar in here. You didn't leave me no sugar. Oh, so you worried about the sugar when you should have been worried about this one we talked about before. Like, so so y'all get the point that I make. So something so small could be the actual trigger. So even though the whole thing was about the phone or seeing the phone, it could have easily been about something like infidelity, the possibility, or he may have not been cheating. He may have been cheating, right? But again, and this is why I say when you go looking for something, it doesn't solve that curiosity. I've never seen that. I've never seen somebody, whether man or woman, go through their partner's phone and come away with nothing and be like, all right, so I'm cool now. I feel relieved. It didn't solve it. It's like, damn, where they hiding it? I know what's on here. I'm not looking in the right spot. I need more time. Yeah. So that says more about the person that's looking opposed to the person that allows it. So again, keep your hands to yourself. And if it's not yours, your item, and it's not it's not your person, meaning like it's not yours, keep your hands off of it. It's just that simple. Shout out to y'all in the chat again. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic: NBA trades. It is slow. Damn, it is slow. It's like the Desert Eagle out here. It is slow. Where's the trades? The last trade that I've seen was the Charlotte Hornets traded forward Miles Bridges for the trade Miles Bridges and the 2029 first round pick and the 2027 second round pick for wing Grayson Allen and wing Royce O'Neal and a 2030 2033 first round pick. That's the latest one that I seen. This trade, good trade, for the Charlotte Hornets because they gain some sort of bench. They get more in depth in their bench. Phoenix get to clear some of that cap space and maybe trying to be in play for maybe a guy like Jalen Brown from the Celtics. I can easily see that trade being made when you have Jalen Brown for I always forget the light skinned guy on their team, but this is whole five teams like, but their best player, I always forget his name off the top of my head. Um, I'm gonna feel bad if I don't find his name. Phoenix Suns shooting guard. I know his name. It's just when I'm alive, I forget him. Devin Booker. I can easily see a trade for Jalen Brown for Devin Booker. I can easily see that. I can imagine Devin Booker on the Boston Celtics playing alongside of JT. I can easily see that. And it will give Jalen Brown his own team and a team like Phoenix. I think that will bode well. So I can easily see that. So they're making that type of cap space for that. And then you also get Miles Bridges, who is a four, and that completes their five somewhat. They have a five, but they still don't have a point guard on Phoenix, in my opinion. And this also puts Charlotte in play for a guy like Jalen Brown as well too. So either one could get get Jalen Brown. Uh, so again, good trade. Do it change the landscape of the NBA? Of course not, but it does make Charlotte a better team. It does. It gives Phoenix a solid starting five. Um, so it does help, but I think each move is set up for another move. If they just leave it the way it is, both teams will be competitive. But I don't believe that both teams is playoff, 1 through 8. They may be play-in teams, but they will be competitive. I will say that. But I feel like both moves is set up for another move. Also, Steve Nash is now the new assistant coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. I think that's big news because that lets you know that their coach right now, who's the Duke shooting guard? Yeah, I know me. I mean, I get on. JJ Redick. JJ Redick, the Lakers head coach. I think this puts him on notice. If he has another losing season or they're not in playoff contention, then you'll see Steve Nash get a second crack at being a head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers. So I think that's what signifies that move for Steve Nash being the new assistant coach for the Los Angeles Lakers. I will say this: it hasn't happened yet, but they're saying that there's talks of Kawhi Leonard going back to the Toronto Raptors. I can definitely see that happen. He played very well with Toronto. I like the move for Toronto because this makes them an instant playoff contender. Not a play-in team, an instant playoff contender, especially if Kawhi is healthy. Me personally, I would prefer that Kawhi go to another team outside of Toronto. I just think there's other teams that's more suited for his skill set. I think Toronto's a good spot, but again, you trade in more than likely they'll be trading JT Barrett and BI Brandon Ingram for for Len- for Leonard. So but again, we'll see. We'll see how that go. We'll see. We're going to see a lot of marquee guys, big name guys being moved. You see that young energy coming in. I would love to see the Philadelphia 76ers get a young wing with Maxi and with EJ Vetchcombe, a taller wing, 6'7", 6'8", small forward, with that young energy, just like those guys. I think that would be a perfect, preferably a shooter and a defender, in that position for them. But yeah. But a guy like a guy like Leonard, um, Toronto, I guess so. I guess so. I would prefer to see him somewhere like the. I honestly I would prefer to see him with Golden State. For some reason, I like seeing experienced players play with other experienced players, opposed to playing like with a whole bunch of young guys. Because y'all not, like the mix is not. It's not a good mix unless the young team has like playoff, like they playoff ready already. Like if Kawhi ended up with a place like San Antonio, it's like, dude, that's like that. That's like cheating, right? But Kawhi with with the other old dogs, Golden State with Steph and Draymond and Jimmy Butler. I think that would work. I think that would work. I would like to see that of me personally. But it is what it is. But that was the last thing I've seen so far. So the trades have been very slow. Uh it's crazy how the NBA works and your image works because a guy like John Morant 2 seasons ago, oh my God, 2 seasons ago, John Morant was on the verge of being the face of the NBA. On the verge. I went to a Memphis Grizzly game when they came to Orlando. I went to the game, got good seats, and Ja put on the show. I got just so happily as I'm taping Ja, he comes down court, cross, he crossed Cole Anthony up, goes to the hole, and I forget which center it was. It's on my phone. I forget which center it was, and threw it on the center. Threw it on him, and the center came to challenge the dunk, and John Moran elevated, and threw it on him. And the Magic Center, mind you, he did that to a Magic's player. The Magic Center went apeshit. It went crazy. So the fact that 2 years ago he was on the verge of being the face of the NBA, and after showing guns on social media and other ill-advised, actions that he's made off the court, and how some of his teammates seen him in and out the locker room, it really has damaged his reputation. Grizzlies can't trade this man to save lives. Can't trade this man. And they've been actively like, yo, we trying to trade John Moran. Like, what's up? Where's the offers? And teams is like, yeah, we cool. And mind you, when you look in the NBA, when you talk about fit, Ja Morant can easily fit, just a scheme fit, easily with the Houston Rockets, easily with the New Orleans Pelicans, easily with the Charlotte Hornets, easily with the Chicago Bulls, easily. That's four teams off the top that I just mentioned that he could easily fit with based on style and fit. Easily. There's other teams that just won't take him because they got young point guards and they want to see what they do with those young point guards. But I mean, damn, nobody wants him. 2 years ago, if you talking about trading John Moran, yo, they would have gave like, yo, yeah, we gonna send that and the peanut kid, the peanut boy. We're gonna send everybody. So the trade value for John Morant based on the things he's done off the court, in the locker room, outside of the locker room, haven't been favorable to his trading market. A shout out to Paul White Prefect. It was, but yeah, I did get it right. I didn't realize you had uh looked out for me and said Booker. Yes, Booker. Yes. Yeah, cause I couldn't think. Anytime I go on live, I forget names that I say all the time. But when I get on live, I forget the name. But yeah, so I could easily see that. But I would love to. And people been linking John Moran to Miami. I don't like the fit. I don't like that fit. No, because if you got John Morant on Miami, who's your shooters? Who's your shooters? If they keep Norman Powell is a shooter, and I just said I'll be forgetting names, right? And the other kid is he's a better shooter than what they give him credit for. Who's the kid that was traded for LeBron James when he was on Cleveland and went to Minnesota? Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins is a very underrated shooter. Very underrated. He's a better catch and shoot. So if it was Andrew Wiggins and Ja Morant, okay, cool. He would be on there. But to me, I just don't see that as a fit because Ja Morant is ball dominant. Giannis is kind of ball dominant. He doesn't play well without the ball like that. Uh, Norman Powell, he could play with the ball or without the ball. But I don't see that being a great fit for Ja Morant going to Miami. Um, but going to the Pelicans, I see that all day because Zion wants the ball, but he could care less about bringing the ball up. Now, if he got a guy that can't guard him like that, like for real, and he gets the ball and he makes his move at the top of the key, then you'll work it out like that. But play in, play out, I could see it. I could see him throwing alleys to John Moran. I mean, I could see him throwing alleys to each other. You know how exciting that would be to have John Moran and Zion on the same team. Hopefully, they will play a full season if that was to happen. But I could definitely see that. I could see John Moran on Charlotte because you have shooters on Charlotte, you got defenders on Charlotte. I could see him on Houston. I said last year that KD should have joined the Grizzlies because the Grizzlies are defensive. He come there with his shooting ability, and you got John Morant that could create for himself and for Durant. So I could easily see a guy like John Morant on the Houston Rockets easily. So it's just crazy how his market has changed within 2 years based on the things that he chose to do in and out the locker room and and at home. A shout out to my dog CC. Appreciate you tapping in. Ash was good, fam. 100. Make sure y'all hit them 100s, hit them hearts in the chat. It helps with the growth of the show. My dog CC in the building, man. One of our day ones. And we got Paul White in the building, man. Appreciate y'all. Again, we're on every Sunday, every Wednesday at 10:30. I drop videos daily. Remember to take advantage of those memberships. You're going to get special access to my music on with those memberships as well. You're going to get super early access to the making of my new album, and I'm super excited about that. I can share the name of my new album. It's called The Adventures. No, I ain't gonna tell you. Yeah. No, I'm playing. Y'all would be whack if I didn't say nothing, right? Y'all would be like, yo, Ash, like, what type of top you want? What type of top you want? I don't know if I should share it though, but I'm gonna share it though. Should I say? No, I'm shit. I'm gonna stop being flimsy. Now it's called The Adventures of Don Pierre. That's what that album is called. The Adventures of Don Pierre. The reason why it's called The Adventures of Don Pierre because uh this Don, the word Don means king, and Pierre is like a root word for rocks. So it's like understanding like it's a double entendre. You could either be the king of everything or the king of nothing. So everything that you do while you're here, it means something. But when you're gone, you're gone. Doesn't mean anything. Can't take it with you. So that's why it's called the Adventures of Don Pierre. She was see this says share it. Now I was being flimsy when I said that. I was being flimsy, but everybody will have early access to like the recording process, the verses. I'm gonna try to share some of the beats. But because it be such an issue, like YouTube is so different now when it comes to production and beats. When you hear it, like it's a whole bunch of things, and they be trying to mark me for my own music. Like I hate when I get, oh, this can't be monetized because the music in here is by another artist. No shit, Sherlock. The artist name is Ashley Lovechild, which is the owner. What is the name of this YouTube? Ashley Lovechild. So you don't think it's the same damn person? Y'all don't investigate that? Oh, my bad. Yeah, it is your bad. You know what I'm saying? It just be stupid. It's the same person. It's me. You know what I'm saying? It be stupid. Ash, you the type to insult someone in Shakespeare style, leave it the bamboozle. Yo, you know I will. You know what I'm saying? You know I will. You know what I'm saying? You know I will. Shakespeare style, you know? Feel me? But that's why I call it the Adventures of Don Pierre. Like, yeah. A lot of it. Like, I'm very visual, so I make my visuals first. When I do an album. I'm gonna talk about this all in the special footage of the music. But when I do an album, I do my visuals first, and then I record the music. I need visuals. Yeah, I need visuals. I like the name. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? And once you hear why I named it that, then people also get it as the problem is teams don't want players with wild off the court luggage. Ja is he's talented, but he needs to focus on hoops. That's a fact. I agree wholeheartedly. See, the problem with today's NBA players, like all of them think they bigger than the program. Ain't none of them bigger than the program. Ain't no NBA player bigger than the program. Not one. Not even Michael Jordan. He wasn't bigger than the program. When his father died, and then they try to link him to or gambling that he lost his father because of the gamblings and the mafia took his father out. That wasn't true. It was random guys on the road or the side of the road doing all types of nefarious things, and they ended up catching up with him. You know what I'm saying? But they try to deter Mike's legacy like that. Kobe. See how it happened to Kobe was the whole face of the NBA. The whole face. They was like, what? Yeah. Yeah, nah. Nah. They took his Nike deal. And it was just bad for Kobe after that. Kobe became like a hated man. You know what I'm saying? They didn't no longer promote Kobe, and then just so happily, he was a 16-year-old kid out of Akron, Ohio. Yeah, we could. He looks like a squeaky kid. He looks like a clean kid. Oh, he not that squeaky. He from the hood. Oh, he got a Hummer. Oh yeah, okay. All right. He could slide in the NBA with that Hummer, but he can't go to college. Y'all thought that was by accident? So yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. No player is bigger than the program. He thought he was bigger than the program. Thought he was big in the program. Even if he's not, let's say he's not gangster and he try to be gangster, right? That didn't bode well. Even if he was gangster and try to be gangster, that's not gonna bode well. Period. Like Gilbert Arenas, I remember what Gilbert Arenas was playing. He's the most least gangster player you will ever see. He not, I wouldn't call him a hoe, but he's not gangster. He's jokey. You know what I'm saying? He always cracking jokes. But there was a situation when he was playing for the Washington Wizards where he brought a gun into the locker room because he heard a teammate bringing his gun into the locker room. How did that bowl for both of them? Players like, yo, y'all got guns in here? Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah, y'all get them out of here. Gilbert Arenas' career was never the same after that. And that player career was never that player wasn't even like good for real. He was trying to be good, and he never got an opportunity to be good after that. It was a wrap. It was a wrap. The only reason why Gilbert Arenas was allowed to play continue, obviously he wasn't at fault, but because he was talented, that's why he got other opportunities after that. But he was never the same. So you're not bigger than the program. So with John Morant having issue with being traded, yeah, that's on him. That's on him. You seen footage with his teammates, like his current teammates approaching him like, yo, we could go into the back. We're going to the locker room right now and get it shaky. You talking a little too cool out here, D. And when your teammates is talking to the star player that way, it's time to go because the locker room no longer respects you. And that's not good for any star player. Can you imagine any player on the Bulls talking to Mike like, yo, Mike, we could go in the back right now. We could go in the locker room right now and get it shaky. Can you imagine somebody telling Kobe, yo, we could go in the back right now and get it shaky? Or Dwayne Wade, yo, and at the height of Dwayne Wade, yo, we could go in the back and get it shaky. I ain't gonna see that. And if that was to happen, what you think would have happened? MJ would have like, yo, punched in the eye. You seen Gary Payton and Dwayne Wade get into it when they was on the team. You see what happened, right? Dwayne Wade was like, "What? Hey man, watch your mouth, yo. Watch your mouth, dog. Like it can get real dangerous out here on this court. And they found peace and won. But the point that I'm making, when guys challenge you physically and you're the leader of the team, that's not good. You wasn't gonna see that happen with Carmelo Anthony when he was with the Knicks. How many players are actually going? How many Knicks players would have went up to Carmelo and be like, "Yo, we could go in the back and figure it out." They wasn't doing that to Melo. You crazy? Nah, nah, nah. So because that happens, it's time to go. It's just the fact that no team want to trade for him. He has a big contract, and you don't know what you're going to get from him. So, all right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Shout out to Washida. The small world can't be trusted. Them slick as like hell. The only way to beat the small world out of their game is not to play. Ja is the type to bully his teammates like Bishop from the movie Juice. You stupid. Yeah, ain't no bullying Bishop. Not for too long. You know what I'm saying? Bishop got that $2 gun. You know what I mean? It was different. It was Riverside. You know what I'm saying? It was Riverside. You know what I hate about Juice? Now that you brought Juice up, it was Tupac run with the gun in Juice. Like nobody runs like that. Like that was all Hollywood. Like that's Hollywood ghetto run. You know what I'm saying? That's urban Hollywood right there. You know what I mean? Nobody run like that with the Timbs on, with the Timbos. They run in 40s with the Timbos in the hood. Like nobody run like that with the gun. Like that was just crazy. I just had to point that out because you brought up Juice. You know what I mean? All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment, our Keep the Lie Live segment. So my Keep the Lie Live for this episode is simply this: most devils wear masks. I want to let that sit in for a second. Most devils wear masks, and you have to be aware of these devils, y'all. I told y'all time and time again. I've been engulfed in watching, you know, Fatal Attraction, the show Fatal Attraction. But even in your real life, most people, and what I get from watching Fatal Attraction, what I get from these things that we go through each and every episode about what people are getting into, is that regardless of what happens, people are wearing masks and they're showing you their mask. They're showing you the energy, they're showing you behavior. And most devils wear them. They wear the mask. And it's so crazy. These people look like me and you. They look like civilized individuals. They look like people that actually handle things in a mature way. They look like they handle being able to handle uncomfortable conversation and being resolution based. Most devils wear masks. And the reason why I bring that up, because of the famed football player not too long ago, tight end Kellen Winslow Jr. He's made tens of millions in his career, and he was sentenced to 14 years in prison. Now he's eligible in 2032. And the reason why he was sentenced 14 years is because he was sentenced for GAPE. And y'all know what GAPE is. I can't say the word on YouTube because YouTube, you know what I mean? All types of stuff, right? Y'all know the word GAPE, right? But he had a situation where he gaped 5 different women. A lady in 2003, uh, and it was also a 58-year-old homeless woman in 2018, and a 71-year-old woman at Oceanside, I believe California, Oceanside, and 2 additional charges was dropped. So he had 5 different situations. 2 of those situations was dropped. Two of those additional charges was dropped as far as gaping situations, part of a plea deal, and they did that in 2019. So he's only charged for the two. Now the one in 2013, excuse me, the one in 2003, because it's 2003, and he went away in what 2014, if I'm not mistaken. 2003, the statute of limitations, because sex crimes carry statute of limitations. When you unalive somebody, that statute of limitation lasts forever. But sexual assault, I believe, in certain jurisdictions could be as low as 3 years and as far as 7. So obviously that statute of limitation has ran out. But again, I bring his name up again because he is supposed to be a football player, athlete, pillar of the community. Um, he wasn't like a rough looking dude, pause. So you would think that this man could go to a club and meet women and would easily agree to go back to his room or home to get it cracking. No, he's out here choosing to gape women. And the fact that these are older women, it doesn't make this easier, and they're homeless. So he's obviously seeking out and being predatory against women who don't have anybody to protect them. When you hear homeless, 58-year-old homeless, when you hear 71-year-old, you don't think somebody is around to protect them. That's what I think. You don't get that image when he's seeking these type of people because he would get in his car and he would drive around and look for people like this. And again, he doesn't have the face of a devil. When you look at him, you like, oh, this he has to be a mild mannered young man, an athlete, and he's good for the community because as athletes, when you're growing up as an athlete, you're in the community, you're trying to do nice things and yada yada yada. But here you have him wearing a mask and doing the most evil things, most vile things. And these are just the cases that was caught. These are the cases that he was, again, charged for. I'm just a big believer when somebody has this type of, I don't even want to call it like an appetite, but when somebody has this type of sickness and they get caught, just because they got caught, this does not mean to me like that's all they did. Especially when it comes to sexual appetite. Now, sex is an appetite, and your type of sex is also an appetite. How do you get I don't want to go down that road because that's not what this is about. The main fact is that beware of the devils. Devils wear masks. And a lot of the times, these people look like me and you. A lot of the times, these people are the nice neighbor down the hall. A lot of the times, these people are the nice worker at the local grocery store. Like, hey, you was looking for the ketchup, right? We just brought out ketchup. I just wanted you to have it 'cause I know you was looking for it. He's that guy. Not always. Y'all get the point that I'm making. These are everyday people that look like me and you, mild mannered, look like they got a good head on their shoulder, and have the worst and evil intentions. And that's just not from a show. The show in itself is just an example that we see this all the time. And the reason why I brought up the show again is because they specify time. And the reason why that matters when these things happen in 2003, 2014, and they say the person gets 14 years. You're like, damn, 2026. We're in 2026. And they did this in 2014. Then their release date is right around the corner. Now, him in particular, he's not eligible for parole until 2032. You're like, all right, 2032, that's not bad. We in 2026. 2032 is right around the corner. That's right around the corner. We just spoke about the draft. That one of these teams gave up a 33rd pick. 20, excuse me, 2033 pick. So that means it's right around the corner. So him being eligible for parole in 2032, that's right around the corner. And for me, when you're out here doing things like this, victimizing people in this manner, that's not enough time. That's not enough time. This man is going to be back out on the streets, young. And if he does this again, who's the fault? Who's at fault for this? Who's at fault? Did y'all really rehabilitate him? Because now you're setting up for a new victim. So again, my keep the line alive for this episode. Again, most devils wear masks and be aware. They look like me and you. They seem like nice people, regular people, but at the end of the day, you just never know. So be aware of the devils because they wear masks. And they tell you, people show you, they show you who they are. They show you who they are. They could tell you another thing. They could show you. They could tell you their representative. They got good game, good game. Ironclad proof of their game. But guess what? They are who they are. They are who they are. And a guy like Kellen Winslow, who had made millions of dollars in the NFL, his father was an NFL great, and he was out here doing this. And the time that he got caught, he probably been doing this the whole, like, how many other times, and he just didn't get caught, or he paid somebody off. With two of those cases, again, they got dropped a part of a plea deal. So easily, those witnesses or those women that that was gay, he could have paid them off easily. Like we already went through the pain. You might as well get this money and drop the case. And they probably rather do that instead. So be aware of the devils, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. Y'all been absolutely amazing. I appreciate y'all each and every Sunday and every Wednesday. Again, I'll be on again this Wednesday at 10:30. I want to thank y'all in the chat. Y'all was engaging. I appreciate that as always. It helps with the growth of the show. If y'all want to continue to see your boy grow, continue to give the engagement. I appreciate it. I drop videos daily. So make sure y'all tap into those videos, leave comments. Even if I don't agree, if you don't agree with me, I should say, if you don't agree with me, still leave a comment. Say, Ash, I feel you, but I disagree. Cool. We can have a conversation in the chat or in the comments. So again, I appreciate it either or. Don't be afraid to share the videos as well too. Okay. Also take advantage of the memberships because again, I'm going to be releasing exclusive footage through those memberships as well. Y'all going to get first crack at those, and I'm talking about real first crack. So make sure y'all take advantage of those memberships for my new album that I am recording. I'm super duper excited. And this is probably be the first album that I'm gonna be like, very like, explaining it. You know what I'm saying? Like one of my albums I did a documentary called Stupid Dope Moves is up on YouTube, is up on Button Snaps as well. Explaining one of my previous albums, but I never did like a documentary style while I'm recording the album. You know what I'm saying? Like I just never done that. I've done a poor job throughout my career in like involving my personal life and my music. I always just thought like my life is my life and my music is my music, right? But I just never like gave y'all that. You know what I mean? So now you're going to get exclusive footage with the recording process and everything regarding that with the music. You know what I mean? And I'm super duper excited about this album because this will be the first album as well that I'm not going to have up on Apple and Spotify. So, you know, but y'all still going to get the album because I'm gonna make it available. It's just not going to be up on Spotify and Apple because like their whole system is rigged. It's a rigged system. It's a rigged system and it doesn't benefit us real artists. So I appreciate y'all as always, man. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Uh, Also, OUV Records. Again, OUV Records are still working on the app. We just want the app to be absolutely amazing. And that's what's taking a little time with the app as well. Developing a new app is not an easy thing to do, and it's going to be absolutely fire. So again, make sure y'all stay in tune to OUV Records. The label model is create, document, and inspire. Also got merchandise as well. We got some new t-shirts on the way, got hats on the way. This new album is gonna be absolute fire. The Adventures of Don Pierre. So also, y'all remember, you know what I'm saying? The Adventures of Don Pierre is gonna be absolute fire. I can't wait for y'all to see some of these visuals and hear the music. Like I'm really like excited. You know what I mean? So I can't wait for y'all to see the process and hear it and stuff like that. And I may get some feedback from y'all. I may give y'all I'm also probably add like an exclusive link for y'all to go to and give y'all input on the song before I finish it and put it out. I may do that on a couple of songs just to, hear what y'all think or whatever. And it's gonna be absolute fire. Um, Shout out to all y'all in the chat with Sheeta, Hazel, CC, of course, my dog Rowan Jack. Shout out to all y'all. I can't say every single body. I have to go all the way up, but shout out to everybody that showed major love in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all. Hit the 100s and hit them hearts on the way out. Also, you want to stay in touch with me off the pod. You can hit me on Instagram at Ashley Lovechild, or anything on Ashley Lovechild. Just type in Ashley Lovechild. All that stuff will pop up. I appreciate y'all as always. And remember, y'all, do not be an agent of chaos. Do not be a stain of somebody that tries to stand out by being negative. Have the ability to stand up by being positive. Lose that Willie Lynch mindset. Lose that it can only be one mindset. It's tragic. The only op we recognize over here is opportunity. Hate has a location. It's just not here. Again, I'm back this Wednesday at 10:30. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I'll see y'all soon.